just at the moment. He needs to get a bit of a sighter or two on some of these short balls.
A bit of consolidation. Well, I must admit that India-Australia game almost sent me to sleep. It was a very... as ODIs go, it was about as dull as they are. And although Australia got back into the game, as Brathwaite is in to bowl and Stokes is forward, meeting this, pushing to Holder at mid-on. Although Australia got back in the game and it looked like it could be a decent game, Dhoni and Jadhav just batted sensibly, didn't they? They didn't try to do anything too early on and gradually wore Australia down. They did it with, 2 overs to spare, near enough in the end.
Adam Zampa bowled well. He played for Brentwood last season.
Oh, it was Brentwood, was. Yeah, he said they were in the Essex League, yeah. Again, Stokes advances down, but can only defend when he gets there. It also says to Morgan there's not going to be a single there as Holder moves in once more from mid-on. It's the end of the over. I think it was a maiden, wasn't it? 59 for 3, Morgan 14, Stokes 2. Any tweets?
Yeah, Evil Scooter says, was originally planning to stay with you until the bitter end tonight, but I'm already circling the drain. A shame, given this looks pleasingly ominous for the visitors.
It does. You're right, actually. Well, I guess all you need to do is sort of wake up every now and again, read a tweet from Woy Woy Pom, and you will realise that we are indeed doomed. So, Thomas 1 over for 1, Brathwaite 3 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 7, Holder 5 overs, no maidens, 1 for 28, Cottrell 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 23. The wickets going down at 16, 18 and 57. And here is Thomas bustling in. Morgan allows this one to go past him at about just over waist height outside the off stump. And there is no run. The current run rate is around about 4.4.
It really looks as like 3 wickets down or not, England have assessed this as a more difficult pitch.
You're right, and they may be thinking, let's just get to 220, 230 maybe, or maybe a little bit more than that, but...
It's hard to say, but they're certainly not blazing for
400.
No,
they're not thinking, yeah, exactly.
They're not thinking, well, we're 3 wickets down, but we can blaze on anyway.
No,
definitely.
Absolutely. Here comes Thomas again, leaps at the end of his run-up, and that's crashed through the offside after we said England aren't playing many shots. We do remember this from the Test match, had a very slow outfield. That may be having an effect as well. It just about makes it to the boundary. 4 runs to Morgan.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, the thing is, it's something this side has been criticised for quite a lot, failing to adapt. I mean, a lot of these criticisms are in hindsight of a game lost, but even so, it is something they've had levelled against them, that they don't adapt. More difficult conditions, and I think they're getting a bit better at that.
Well, let's hope so. Morgan moves on to 18. Here comes Thomas again. Short ball, he's pulled back high. Has he got enough on it, or is it going to fall into the hands of Longleg? It's going to fall into the hands of Longleg. A shame Thomas strikes. Morgan has gone. What were we just saying a few minutes ago? England are rubbish. They don't know when to stick and when to twist. They're 63 for 4. Yeah, straight into the hands of the man at Longleg. He didn't really have to move sideways at all. He had to step back a little bit. It was Sheldon Cottrell. He failed, as far as I can see, to do the salute and march, but then maybe he only does that for his own bowling, not when he's catching off others.
Well, that was what I was saying. They couldn't just let them bowl short at them, constantly. Sooner or later, they were going to have to start to try hooking those. So I don't think it was the wrong thing to do. And I think it was short enough to hook. I think he's just got underneath it, maybe, and it's. I'm saying it's a mistake of execution rather than shot selection.
Very forgiving. Very forgiving.
I am. I've been a week off Twitter. You'd be surprised how much more forgiving that makes you.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? That's a week off Twitter, and you're that generous to England. Extraordinary.
Well, some people have a different starting point on that one.
Yes, very true. Very true. Have we got any more tweets?
Yeah.
I imagine people will now be tweeting in to tell us how terrible England are.
Not yet about that, but Rob Kelly has said, "Hey world, I just supported at Gorilla Cricket at Patreon."
Oh, excellent.
You can too. Internet high five. Patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket.
It's absolutely the right thing to do. Of course, I'm going to first go and check how much you've given us before I say too much about you.
He's given us -$10.
Oh, it hasn't come up on my phone yet. Anyway, so I'll hold fire on that one. But if you want to be one of those people who goes along the bottom of our Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope feeds, you have to give us $10 a month. If you just want undying gratitude, which it's not so easy to feel undying gratitude, is it? If you've got something concrete written across the bottom of the screen, you know that we
concrete
really...
in pixels.
Yes, exactly.
That are gone after 2 seconds.
Yes. Well, you know, you have to give us $10. $2, yeah, we're very appreciative, you know, but let's not get carried away. It's only $2.
I had $2 from everybody who listens, and we'd have our own island.
We would, actually, that's very true. Why doesn't everyone who listens to us give us $2 and be done with it per month? It'd be so much simpler for us. We'd have a real
simpler
sort of
for the listeners as
simpler
well.
for the listeners.
Yeah.
It would be, you know, we wouldn't have to keep thinking, oh, can we afford to do this? You know, can I take another week off work? That sort of thing. Anyway, I think we've just had some drinks taken out, and also perhaps a remarking of the creases, as England have slumped, no less, to 63 for 4 from 13.5 overs. But it does mean coming to the crease, it's the man of the moment. It's the man christened on Guerrilla Cricket as Universe Jos, picked up by the BBC and Cricket Alley this week, apparently.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
Prior ain't no loss, 'cause we found someone subtler. Okay, he can't spell Joss, but he also can't spell Butler. Joss Butler. Just because he is Joss Butler. 1 S and 2 T's, Joss Butler.
Okay, don't rub it in. We're seeing the wickets again. None of them make particularly great viewing for the batsmen now that they're back in the hutch. And England have got it all to do here. Really have. Even they have got a long batting lineup.
They might need it.
They will, I think. They will indeed. I don't think Jos is going to find it coming on quite so nicely as he did at Grenada. Anyway, going to face his first ball. He's set up for a duck, isn't he, here? Thomas in, bowls, and he just drops the hands and sways out of the way of a shortish delivery. Through to the keeper it goes, and there is no run. So
Well,
2 relatively new batsmen at the crease now.
That would be cricket for you, wouldn't it?
It would. It's a great leveller, as they say. You've got to do well before it can, you know, level out.
Yeah, well, just the first bit would be good.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
a lot of us. Yeah.
Exactly. Kept his eye on it very well, Cottrell, and took the catch in front of the advert for caramel biscuits.
Yeah, that's a strange
I love
one, isn't
them.
it? It's old school.
Down the leg side, flicked on its way. Butler is off the mark. Bishu fields. I'm not sure Bishu's going to get a lot of bowling unless have they got any extra bowlers to
Is
spare?
Nurse playing today?
Nurse is playing, yeah.
Yeah.
Bishu bowled terribly on Wednesday.
Mashall's not Bishu's biggest fan.
Not a big fan.
No.
I thought he bowled really well in the second one-day international after being hit, or being quite expensive in the first over that he bowled. He came back pretty well, but he just didn't come back. Well, he did come back, but it got worse on Wednesday. Here comes Thomas to Stokes, and Stokes goes after that one way wide outside the off stump. Surely that is a wide. It is. England gratefully receiving an extra run, go to 65 for 4.
Well, the previous ODI, I saw 45-minute highlights on YouTube. The West Indies Cricket Board are putting highlights out on YouTube, and it's pretty good. But even 45 minutes of highlights was not enough to put every 6 in. You could tell they had missed some 6s.
Imagine having to choose between 6s. Thomas bowls, again wide of the off stump, and Stokes thinks about going after that and thinks, well, hang on, we're 4 down. I daren't get out here, and decides better of it. But a good over from Thomas. He's bowled 2 overs, taken 1 for 7. England are 65 for 4 from 14. Any more tweets?
Yeah, thanks also to Norfolk Cricket Society for being a Patreon donor hero.
Ah, wonderful.
Chris Acquire says D ... oomed? Question mark.
Yeah, but it's getting to that sort of position.
And Des says, any plans to do another quiz?
Another quiz.
What was the first quiz?
What quiz was that?
Guessing,
Do we have a quiz
does he
today?
mean the predictor? Or?
Do you mean the GPL?
Which has now expired. It's past.
Is it past gone past 4?
Yes.
Well, we might lengthen it on the basis that probably no one's entered. And that's a pretty poor return to have only got 4 entries from 2 goes at the GPL in one day. Anyway, I'm sure someone from the Green Room will come and give me the information on that one. It's Brathwaite to continue into his 4th over. Over the wicket to Butler, leaves a ball angled into him outside the off stump. Through it goes, and there's no run. 81 miles an
So I was talking about these highlights I saw on YouTube, yes, and obviously even in 45 minutes, you can't really get a feel for the flow of the game. And all I saw from Bishu was him dropping short and being hit into outer space.
Yeah, his first over went for 19, and it was Bairstow. He just kept dropping long ops in there, and he just kept whacking him over. Long on, really. Strappling him, really. That's Butler trying to come down the wicket to Brathwaite, and then sort of playing across the line and missing it. So that wasn't too good.
These are two batsmen who like to do that when the ball's swinging around. As when they first go in, they will come down the track, not to smash it out of the ground, but to try to cut off the swing.
Yeah, it's not swinging that much, though. There's a little bit of movement.
Off the track.
Yeah, a bit of movement off the track, yeah. He's in again, bowls wide of the off stump. Too wide, but not wide enough to be a wide. 65 for 4. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We have seen these two do it. I'm not sure it's that good an idea, though, to be a yard outside off stump trying to turn it into the onside. Right, I have news. We have 4 GPL entries for the West Indies versus England. The run lines are 437, 441, 531 and 532. Left alone again outside the off stump by Butler. The pot has risen to 32 of our finest English pounds. Is the English pound going to survive Brexit?
Well,
what will we have to go in? Will the currency, the Gorillo, finally get?
Perhaps it will, and
its place in the
they
world's
do say
currencies.
The dollar is going to lose its position as the default world
Wow,
currency.
how wide has he gone on the crease there? Very wide indeed. Trying to angle it in, but it's still well outside off stump and left alone by Butler. Just having a good look at it. 5 balls, none of them from which runs have been scored.
Got some people on Crick Tracker. Bayo Sahab. At first I thought he said great thank you, but he actually said great comeback by West Indies.
Ah, right, damn.
Hello to Ratula. Bayo says, I think series level here, but Zafar thinks England win. So.
Ah, okay. Final ball of the over. Brathwaite in. Bowls to Butler. Butler drives. Edges. But edges well wide of the slip cordon. It's well done. I think that is Bishu down there, isn't it?
It is sort of. It was one of those where you think it looked terrible, but he did stop the ball. So
he did, yeah. It was little Bishu getting around there to his left, and they got 2 runs. So that spoils the over slightly for Brathwaite, who thought he might be about to bowl another maiden. A 4th slip might have been useful there, but 3rd slip wouldn't have got near it either.
Brathwaite's going to bowl to 4 slips often in his ODI career.
Fair point. It's a fair point. So that ends the 15th over. England just going at just over 4 and over, 4.47. 67 for 4. Butler 3, Stokes 2, and Thomas is getting ready to bowl his 3rd over. Do you think he's carrying a little bit of excess there? Or I wouldn't say it to his face, but from this distance.
He's also one they have to carry in the field a little bit.
Yeah, he bowls to Stokes. Stokes is in behind it, just drops it down more or less in front of him. And there is no run. That was 86 miles an hour. A little bit swifter than Brathwaite at the other end.
So Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 1.
Ooh.
Bad news for the Bear. Manchester United 2, Southampton 1. I'll try and find Wimbledon for you, see if they've had a shot yet.
Please.
Brentford 1, QPR 0, standard.
Oh.
It's Shrewsbury 0, Wimbledon 0.
Oh, have we had a shot yet?
Let's have a look.
Anyway, here's Thomas. Bowls short. Cut! He really threw himself at that one, did Stokes. Clobbered it through extra cover. It's 4 runs.
Yeah, sorry, that game is deemed too low standard by Flash Score to actually have stats for, so sorry.
4. Good God, yeah.
Are you a football fan?
I follow Worcester City, so you'd probably say no.
I've been to Worcester City twice when AFC Wimbledon were in the Conference South.
Yeah, well, sadly they've
had to move
they're
from
now
there.
Homeless. Yeah, they're now homeless and about 2 divisions below what they used to be as well.
that
Actually,
is a
3
shame.
divisions below.
Because they had quite a... this is Stokes trying to dab this down to 3rd man. He wants a run. Gale is going to move very slowly to that from slip. And he's looking up at Butler saying, surely we could have had a run there. But Jos wasn't in the mood. Yes, there was potential there. You know,
Yeah, they had a good cup run about 5 years ago. Beat Coventry away in the FA Cup, and then had a world record penalty shootout. I think they lost 14-13 against Scunthorpe.
Oh, that must have been some night. Were
I
you
was
there?
there. I was there. Yeah, it was on BT Sport. Yeah.
Gosh, that must have been nerve-wracking.
Well, it got
in the
boring.
extreme.
It went on for about 20
It must
minutes.
do, yeah.
Pulled
Shot.
by Stokes. That's a great shot. who's really hammered that. It's brought him another boundary. Stokes is on a roll.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's only so long he's going to let Shane Thomas bowl short at him.
Yeah.
And he's picked the right ball there, to be fair, and got on top of it very nicely.
Yeah, he has indeed. Very nice shot indeed. And worthy of the boundary it brought.
Well, Worcester's quite a big town, isn't it?
It's a city. Because
I will stand
as in
corrected.
Worcester City.
I'll probably get a
Cathedral,
million
yeah.
tweets about that, and so I stand corrected, yeah.
So where are they playing at the moment? Full outside the off stump, this time left alone.
They're
by-
playing in Bromsgrove. They were playing in Kidderminster. They've now moved to Bromsgrove.
Do you go and watch them in Bromsgrove?
I haven't yet.
Is that just this season they've been in Bromsgrove?
I think this is the second season, but they're in the Midland Premier, which is something like the 8th tier.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
in the 6th tier, I think. Oh, they might even be the 9th tier now.
Yeah, Conference South is the 6th tier, isn't it? Yeah.
But they're 3 divisions below that, so it must be the 9th tier.
Oh, gee. Thomas in, bowled short again and pulled once more by Stokes. Pulled powerfully, but pulled closer to Cottrell, who fires the ball in quickly after picking it up, moving to his right. And they just take the one, 76 for 4. Any more tweets?
Seagrave Saab says, my 10 Yankee dollar hopefully leaves 4 listeners feeling less guilty about stealing your fine broadcast if you average out to $2 for each pair of ears. At least my conscience is clean. Well, about this anyway, I'll leave it
No one
there.
else gets let off by someone else's bigger donation. I mean,
No, absolutely not.
Kudos to that person, but no one else gets let off. Absolutely not.
Right, I'm just going to check who's given us what. We've had a donation to PayPal of 10 quid, which is very nice. Actually, in fact, they've both gone to PayPal. They both seem to be from the same person. That can't be right. Oh, well, it's just told me twice. So there's only one person, but they've told me
Little
twice.
James Taylor on the screen there, but I can't see Ed Smith, so something's wrong. Something's very strange.
Oh, beauty from Brathwaite there to Stokes. Turned him round completely. Went from middle stump and over off. Really. Absolute beauty from round the wicket.
No Tom Harrison in the crowd either, which seems unusual for this series.
Has he been? Oh, he's been out there.
He's been out there.
Yeah,
Ashley Giles was out in Barbados. wasn't
Ah, right.
I
Okay.
think he's wearing a fake
Freeloading.
moustache and
Freeloading.
hiding from the cameras.
It should be. Brathwaite in again, bowls to Stokes. This one comes off a thick outside edge as he ventures forward, squeezed towards backward point, and there is no run. No, Jimmy Taylor's up there. I don't know who he's sitting next to. Not someone I recognise. No others that I recognise there on that particular balcony.
Does he have an official role?
He's a what is he? He's a
He's a
selector,
selector,
national
isn't
selector. Comes down the wicket now. Stokes. I'm not sure that's the best way of approaching Brathwaite, because Brathwaite's going to see you do that. So you have to do it early.
He came very early, yes.
Yeah, and so he just pitches it even more short, and then you've got no chance.
Wants to really try and fake that and make him drop too short, maybe. It becomes a bit of cat and mouse.
Yeah. 76 for 4. I think Jimmy Taylor's sitting there on his phone. He's probably trying to get tune in Guerrilla Cricket.
He's probably playing Candy Crush.
He comes down the wicket again and then jabs a short one into his ribs down towards square leg. Brathwaite runs through, falls over, looks silly, but they get through for 1. 77 for 4. Stokes has moved on to 12 from 23.
So, what England be looking for from here? I think they'd be happy with 260 from this point.
Yeah, I think 260 would be a very, very competitive total.
You'd still think they'd need 230. I mean,
Yeah.
stranger things can happen, but
Well, you'd think that Wood might be a bit spicy on this pitch if its character stays the same. Here is Brathwaite, though, over the wicket to Butler. This one squeezes off a thick outside edge towards backward point, and
But
there is no run.
to what extent are West Indies generating these problems because their bowlers are very tall? England have rather got today. I mean, they're not. Their bowlers have many skills, but they're not the tallest bowler bowling test. And today with Curran and Wokes and Wood, there's and Plunkett's not playing.
Plunkett's not playing.
There's almost no one to bang it in I can think of. Stokes, there's still Stokes always, but you know,
yeah.
he's only got 10 overs.
Butler goes outside his off stump and then steers this into the onside. Brings him a single to mid-on, who has to move round to his right. That is the end of the over. Brathwaite's got great figures, 5 overs, 1 for 11. And England's hopes of a sizable total probably rest with these two putting on 50 or 60 at least from here, I would think.
Well, the funny thing with Butler is we know he's got all these extra gears, and even
Yes.
in that 150 off 75 yesterday, he had 33 off 30.
Yes.
Something like that. He's then gone absolutely berserk. I mean, 3 runs a ball for the rest of it almost.
And the thing is, he doesn't seem to sweat while he's doing it.
No, but, you know, you wouldn't want him to score 40 off 50 and then never, you know, leave third gear.
Yes, oh yes, yes.
At some point, you know, and the way cricket goes, at some point he could decide, right, I'm going to move up, and then and then get out the next ball. I mean, it can happen. It looks like we're going to have a change of bowling.
We are. We're going to have Ashley Nurse into the attack.
Ashley
Coming on
Nurse.
in lieu of O'Shane Thomas.
He is not the greatest bat in the world, no. He's merely adequate. Don't confuse him with an excess of class, no. He's actually
Don't confuse him with
some
the
of us would-
excessive class.
Some of us would kill for adequate.
I would kill for a little bit of class. 78. Other people kill
Kill
for
you
adequate.
for a lack of class.
78 for 4 from 17. Butler facing Nurse. And Nurse is in bowled as flat as you can imagine without actually going under the pitch. It's turned out towards deep mid-wicket. And they come through for a single.
Well, I saw that Nurse was bowling to a slip, and I was thinking about how to interpret that in cricket terms, and then I realised it was Gale who's going to stand at slip for as long as he possibly can.
Yeah, exactly. There's no point in putting him out in the outfield. He's not going to chase anything, is he?
He was actually the one I saw when I was last in. He was laughing as the ball went past him at like short of the final. I said, "What do you expect me to do?"
Well, I
about
think
it?"
on the basis that he scored 200s and a 50 in this particular series, that he's earned the right not to field, hasn't he? Really. Stokes to face then for the first time. Presumably he'll come round the wicket. He will. He's in. Stokes is forward. Hit on the back pad. There's a little bit of interest from the wicket-keeper, and also I think Holder at a shortish extra. But it's not interesting the officials. Nurse in again. Oh, that's rubbish. That is absolute filth outside the off stump. It's been cut. It's probably only going to bring 1 run. Oh, they're going to come back for the second, and they have just got there, I think. Well, it deserved at least 2 runs because it was such an awful ball.
Nurse has also knocked 2 stumps out while trying to execute that run out by basically just catching the ball and falling back on the stumps. It looked fairly comfortable. I mean, you're talking about people earning the right not to field by scoring 150. We've all played people who think they have that right after they scored 35 not out.
Well, yeah, true. Very good point as well. He's absolutely destroyed the stumps.
Nurse destroys stumps.
Yes, I'm not quite sure
He's
what he's trying to do there.
He thinks it's out as well. I mean,
Yeah, so does Holder's quite interested. Hetmeyer is imploring the umpire to give something.
you'd want an actual Nurse to have a more gentle touch than that.
You would, really. But that's a nicer ball that just drifts in to the legs of Stokes, who works it to square leg and takes the single.
Mind you, you'd want an actual Butler to be a bit less destructive than Joss Butler.
Yes.
Hitting the champagne for 6, you know.
Yeah, exactly. 82 for 4 then England. 4 runs from this over so far. 1 ball to go. No, 2 balls to go. He's in. Bowls to Butler. Butler drives. And that's the one that he's got hold of at last. He leant into that. We saw a lot of that the other night, and that's brought him a first boundary. Well, West Indies will be thinking, oh, God, I hope he doesn't find his range. I'm wondering about whether this was the best idea of Holt, to take off his Brathwaite, who was bowling really well. Well, it wasn't Brathwaite. O'Shane Thomas, who was bowling pretty well. Although he did go for a couple of 4s in the previous over from Stokes. But I don't know. Oh, and I swept that one. And if he hadn't laid bat on that, it would have been an almighty appeal for LBW. But he has. He gets a single. And at the end of the over, England have moved to 87, 9 runs from Nurse's first over. Any tweets?
Yeah, we were just talking about what do we think is a good total on this wicket. Seagrave Saab says a stat came up on the flicker box earlier. The average first innings score here is only 216 from the last 5 ODIs.
Wow!
Mm-hmm.
And the test here wasn't a particularly high scoring game either.
No, that's true, yeah.
That is really low, isn't it, for a one-day international?
Just on a dodgy field as well, Durban Oki says, imagine Gale, Yuvraj and Monty all in the same team. Fielding talent.
Hard to imagine, yes.
Yes. It's
well, you said the West Indies are carrying. There was the ODI, I think the first one, where they dropped about 5 catches. It wasn't good.
Nurse dropped about 4 of those.
Yes. Brathwaite, yes, he did. Brathwaite bowls, and again, Butler has come way outside his off stump, totally exposed his stumps, but he follows him, if anything, Brathwaite, and he can't do very much with it.
Well, Brathwaite's bowling a very consistent line. He's not bowling at the stumps generally. He is bowling a foot outside off stump, and as I say, a bit of cat and mouse. You know, if Brathwaite decides to slip in a surprise leg stump Yorker on the same ball, Butler does that.
Could be interesting. He's in again. That's well wide of the off stump again, rising as it goes through to the keeper. 2 more dot balls from Brathwaite, who's only conceded 11 runs from his 32 deliveries.
These two, though, and certainly in the last 15 minutes, have been looking to put away the bad ball, and they've done that, which has kept it ticking along just enough for now.
Yeah, and when you know you've got what you have got in your bank with someone like Butler and Stokes, it's sort of comforting, isn't it? He defends the next ball.
It's your own confidence, isn't it? You think, I can catch up later.
Absolutely. Pushes back to the ball, there is no run.
I think it's unlike the Aussies earlier. You know, they were sort of keeping wickets in hand. They sort of thought, if we get out now, we're knackered. Whereas England, these two can play their shots. They know they've still got enough depth to make up for it later on if they do get out.
Yeah, but if they want to get a really competitive score, you'd want these two to go a bit more deeply into this innings. This is jabbed by Butler down to third man. That's my feeling anyway. They take the 188 for 4.
Well, this is why I really need a lot of convincing to bat first in any white ball cricket. You don't find yourself in this situation where you're not sure what gear to go in, how hard to go, whereas if you're batting second, you know what you've got to do. And well, certainly in ODIs with the 2 balls and maybe dew being not as much of a factor, there isn't much difference in conditions.
Brathwaite bowls a short ball. Has he got an edge through to the keeper? He has. He's gloved it, I think, and the short one from Brathwaite does the trick. Stokes is on his way. He's gone for 15 from 27. He's shaking his head as he goes off, but England have lost their 5th wicket. They're 88 for 5. Oh, yes. Well, it seemed like a late decision to play that shot, didn't it?
At that a little bit, yes.
Hope's taking it above his head, just jumping off the ground a little bit. And, well, Brathwaite is bowling superbly at the moment. Has picked up a 2nd wicket. And Stokes goes for 15. Just when he looked like he was getting the bit between his teeth and playing a few shots, he's gone. That's the problem for England. They need to have a decent stand, really, now, if they're going to push on past 200, 240.
Anything like that. Well, the different roles you have to play in cricket. In the last game, Moeen came in with 2 balls left and 415 on the board. Now he's got 30 overs to bat. And, you know, I think Woke, I would be amazed if Wokes didn't come in 8. This is the kind of situation he's very good.
Yeah.
He can score close to a run of ball without much risk. So I wouldn't have any qualms seeing him come in. But after that, Curran, Rashid, Wood.
Oh,
I mean, look, it's better than most teams, 9, 10 and 11.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, but as you say, it's very difficult to know what a good score is on here. I don't think, as I say, 240 might be a decent score on here, to be honest.
Well, it's becoming more and more of not less what's a good score and what can we get.
Well, yes, that's absolutely true. Moeen Ali comes to the crease, 1,633 runs in this form of the game, averaging 26. He's got 300s, so we could do with one of those now.
Yeah.
Prince Ali, fabulous he, Ali Ababa. Genuflect, show some respect, down on one knee.
Indeed so. You never quite know what you're going to get with Moeen Ali, do you?
You don't.
You really don't.
A lot of plays and misses normally.
Yes, some wafty drives, some glorious drives, and then he'll be looking like $1 million, and then he'll hole out to deep square leg or somewhere like that.
Poor man's David Gow, you might say.
Poor man's David Gow, yes. 2 slips now for Brathwaite, who will stay around the wicket because Moeen, like Stokes, is left-handed.
Better bowler, to be fair.
Gower ran up and deliberately threw a ball in a test, didn't he, once to finish the game when he was skipper.
For some reason, yes.
We've got a backward short leg, curiously enough. 2 slips, he's in, bowl short. Oh, and that flies away, and it's not far away from the man in that position. So bowling well to a plan. It's Hetmeyer, I think, who's come in there. But Moeen has got his first run, if rather fortuitously. He doesn't like it up in particularly, and that was climbing, and it was only just out of the reach. He was perhaps just a little bit too close. Hetmeyer there.
A little bit too short, but he can't
and a little bit too
blamed
short,
for that. No, that is correct, because I think we had a thing about who was the last bowler to be called for throwing in an actual test match, and you had to say except David Gower, because he did it on purpose.
Well, the West Indies fans are beginning to enjoy this. They're rocking to a beat of some sort, which we can't hear, and they're smiling broadly. And why wouldn't they, with England 89 for 5? So we look at that dismissal of Stokes again.
He's just flicked at it. You see, the one he played well. He was out in front of himself and hitting the ball, at full extension in front of himself. That one was almost past him by the time he'd flicked it. And as you said, it may have been he looked slightly late on the decision to attack it.
Play the shot, yeah.
I mean, he might have got a wide if he let that go.
Yeah, might well have done. That's a good point. Here's Nurse starting a new over, and that's more comfortable for Moeen, who leans forward into this one, steers it into the covers and takes the single.
But again, what you're saying, now Moeen's in, real smell of blood in the air, you wouldn't get another fast bowler on to bang it in?
You would think so, wouldn't you? I'd think I'd get Shane Thomas back, or even Cottrell.
He's a bit of a compulsive hooker as well, isn't he, Moeen?
Yeah, absolutely, and we've lost 2 players trying to play the hook today already.
And one with the uppercut.
And the uppercut, of course. Tickled away through square leg by Butler, who now thinks, oh, God, didn't I do enough the other day? Oh, blimey. It's all down to me again. Just
on the tweets, JWO Official says that Universe Jos has been nicked by The Guardian as well.
Yeah, apparently so. I did see one tweet saying that it was guff anyway. Onto the back foot goes Moeen, forces to backward point, and there is no run. But you can actually, if you were copywriting these things, you could actually go back to the very date.
Our lawyers will be in touch.
He's in again. Bowls cut by Moeen. Oh, can't get it past Hetmeyer, who's looks good in that position of backward point, doesn't he? He's very athletic, prepared to throw himself around.
He's had a funny series, hasn't he? I mean, he had a very skittish innings in the first ODI, fabulous 100 in the second.
That's right. This is better from Moeen Ali. Gets it squarer, in front of square, in fact, just about, and takes the single.
And the classic white ball innings of 6 off 2 in the last one.
92 for 5.
Look, Robin Marler, 6 off 2 was a night watchman back in the day.
Butler facing, he's on 12. Given a bit of air, and he strokes it through mid-on. The Bear is here. He has beer. He's accompanied by Pralab. And is Manny coming back or not? Manny's coming. Who's doing ball by ball? You, Bear? Okay, we'll play you a little jingle, tell you how to give us some money, and the next voice after that will be that of the Bear.
Che Guevara, Sangacara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, Guerrilla Cricket.
Yes, it's Guerrilla Cricket. Hello. And it's the afternoon and the Bears in. And I'm joined by Manny on my right and Pranav on my left. And England are fucking this up. It's 93 for 5 and aren't we doing shit?
That's a space of pessimism already.
Well,
30 seconds in.
Well, it can all change. Only takes 1 innings in an ODI, let's face it. And Butler can certainly do that. He's a Universe Jos. And he tips that one out into the leg side to mid-wicket, which is vacant. And they get a single. Don't you reckon we fucked it up a bit? The wicket does seem a bit slow, but there's a bit of bounce in it as well. England might enjoy who knows what a good score is until both sides are batting.
And other cliches are available, but but I think that's perfectly true. There's definitely we've seen some seam movement, particularly. There's a bit of green tinge in the wicket. You've got to have something in the wicket for the bowlers. I mean, I just thought it was a farce the last ODI.
It was a bit. I mean, they were so far ahead of the rate as well, and that was crazy. I mean, we scored 418, and actually they were going along at 8.5 and over for a good part of that.
They were
40 odd overs.
But you've got to have something for the bowlers.
You do indeed. I agree. As a bowler and a part of the bowlers' union, Brathwaite is around the wicket to Moeen, who just defends that out onto the leg side. Dead bats it. There ain't no run.
And yeah, I mean, England bat deep. It'll be a test of the depth of their batting now. We know how good a player Moeen can be if he gets in.
Oh yeah, totally.
If he gets to 10, you think, well,
there's a good chance.
15.
Well, I mean, these two have got to play it sensible now, haven't they? For pretty much 35, 40, 15, 20 overs. That's playing the leg side. There's no run. They've got to get the singles, and I don't think they'll have a problem getting the singles.
Yeah, I think it's just been. I mean, is it a 94 for 5 pitch at the moment? You'd say based on the dismissals, it's been a combination of good deliveries and some poor batting.
Yes,
yeah, true.
Indeed, and it's no surprise yet again that Bairstow gets bowled. I think he needs to go and have a good long think about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the way he plays, isn't it? That's left alone through to the keeper by Moeen. It gets up a bit on him. Goes underneath the bat though, and there's no run.
I never think that's an answer. That's the way I play. You know, that's the sort of thing that Peterson used to say. Oh, that's the way I play when he's caught on the long on boundary.
Yeah,
giving the
on
game
94.
Away. Yeah, I think sometimes if you keep on getting bowled, which Bairstow, he gets bowled far too often for a top order batsman. He needs to think about.
Well, he needs to think about where he is in the batting order as well. Oh, Moeen thinks there's a single there as he drops it on the leg side. A man from behind square, I didn't see who it was, comes around, picks it up, and Butler was going nowhere, and he's quick, so there is no run. As we see some pissed English people in what looks like fake chainmail in a pool by the side of the pitch.
Yeah,
with some fake swords.
With some fake swords.
Do you hope they change the water in that on a frequent basis? Can you imagine?
Brathwaite around the wickets, and there's a kind of leg gully in now, and it doesn't drop short to him as Moeen rides that. Another short one from Brathwaite. Well, there's pace in the wicket. I'm sure Woody will enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
So will Stokesy.
Good field as well, Ted, particularly to Moeen, because I mean, particularly early on, he can be a little bit susceptible to the short ball.
Yep.
And good to see that they're backing their bowlers.
Well, you also have to say this isn't clear. I mean, the test wicket was a bit stodgy, and that's where England won, of course. But it was a tricky wicket to play. The outfield was slow, and by the fact that none of England's batsmen have really got much above a run of ball. It's not the same sort of type of wicket as the other day.
Certainly not.
It doesn't look like a 400 plus wicket, does it? I mean,
for sure.
High 200s, 280. You'll be looking at.
I think if you get to 250, you've got given yourself a really good chance.
You reckon so?
Yeah,
250. 250. Okay. Nurse is in, and beautiful drive by Jos Buttler. Beats the man at mid off, who's wide. The man at long on is Bravo, comes around and feels, and they'll get two. Has he hurt himself? Has he gone down and hurt himself? Is that Holder?
I think a bit of a half push-up, but
yeah, I think he's done his shoulder, hasn't he? He's fallen nastily on his shoulder as he tried to stop that one. He did drive across.
Oh yeah, he jarred
his shoulder. Maybe he winded himself as well.
There's a lot of him to injure.
There is indeed. Well, Ashley Nurse is going to continue. Bowling at Butler. It's going to be a wide down leg side. We have a jingle for that, but I'm going to let Manny not play extras jingles.
Well, we'll use I'm very old.
We'll use him sparingly, and we'll try and get him to play the things that we need to play. If there's a boundary, we need a jingle. There's a jingle. That's 4. Yeah, you see, you can do that one, can't you?
Is that 4? We'll wait and see.
Yes,
it was 4.
It could be 2. It might be 4.
I don't think he stopped that. So it was at the boundary and the fielder flicked it back, but I feel like it's rolled back onto the boundary.
Are they going to have a look?
This should be 4.
They're going to have a look. They're going to have a look.
They are going to have a look.
No, he kicked it onto his foot. And
it's
rolling. Oh, it stopped.
It stopped.
It didn't make it to the boundary. It's not a 4. Woof, you don't have to play a jingle, man.
Utterly fortuitous. Fielding that.
West Indian team looking
well you'll get away, luckily, if you don't have to play an entire jingle in this 10 over stint. This time Butler works it into the leg side past mid wicket, and he goes back fields, and there will be a single. Butler's 19 off 23. Moeen's 3 off 10. England in a woeful position of 100 for 5, but it is one-day cricket. There is only 30 overs left if someone gets it together, which is always possible with this England side. I mean, this thing on ODI, I was listening to Vaughan, and one of the few things of sense I've ever heard him say, let's be honest, as he is a rabid Yorkshireman. No, he's a Yorkshireman, isn't he?
He is Yorkshireman.
He's cut out to points. He said in an ODI it takes 2 batsmen to get a score, and in a T20 you only require 1, which I thought was about right.
Yeah, indeed, and you can change around, and clearly it's not a 400 wicket. It's probably, 300. I think would be a really good score on this.
Of course, there is Chris Gale Universe Boss factor, defended back down the track with no run. We've trialled the series of Universe Boss versus Universe Jos, of course.
Yeah, I'm not sure this pitch will be quite to his liking. It's stopping a bit.
Yeah, true.
I think he can generate his own pace.
He can. I mean, that's the thing about Universe Jos. Defends that one out to mid wicket. There's no one. It's those wrists, isn't it? I mean, they're like bloody rubber. I mean, how he gets some of those full tosses back over the bowler's heads. From
Butler. Butler, I think he's unique in that, because it's almost. There are 2 shots he plays. One, which he plays, is like a goal shot, which is
it's kind of a chip back over. Yeah, but with the whole swing, isn't it? Yeah.
Where he's deliberately looking to fade it, and the other one is almost like a hockey shot when he breaks his wrist really quickly, and as you say, that low full toss, and he can generate by doing that technique. He can generate incredible power.
I know.
Which a few others, if any, can do.
And it goes straight back over the bowler's head for 6. It's mad. Brathwaite is in to Moen. He tries to work it on the leg side. It's his 5 pad. Balloons out on the offside and there's no run.
Are they going to bowl him straight through? I think they might. I mean, he's in
they
good rhythm.
might do. He's in good rhythm. 2 for 14. You can't knock that, can you?
Yeah, I mean...
it means someone else has got to take up the slack later.
They do, but I always think with somebody as big as Brathwaite, if you take him off now,
you might not get started again.
Well, exactly. Just stiffen up.
He can't be that old. Brathwaite's quite young, isn't he? Just played into the offside, dropped down there by Moen. There's no run.
He's just got that look about him, though, hasn't he? That he's a sort of one spell merchant, and you bring him back. We've all played with cricketers like that, and you bring him back for a second spell, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
And picks up another 2 wickets. I mean, 3 overs left. England will be struggling to get to 200.
Well, yeah, that's true. There's still 28 overs left. I remember watching a game. It's just played down in front of him. There's no run, and this is how crazy one-day cricket has got. And it was a similar sort of game to the other. It wasn't similar sort of scores, but I think something like it was a World Cup, one of those early sort of tournament games. And the West Indies was playing someone. It was someone pretty poor, Scotland or maybe Zimbabwe or someone like that. Where as Brathwaite comes around the wickets. And it's played nicely by Moen behind square on the offside. The outfield is so slow. Third man will come across field. I think it's Sheldon down there. And it'll be 2 runs to Moen. And West Indies look like in all sorts of trouble. There are about 10 overs to go. They were about 120. And then after 50 overs, they had 300 on the board. And they just went absolutely mental. And you thought this is just where... That was the point where I realised that basically T20 had sort of inveigled its way so much into the ODI game that basically people weren't bothered what they were at 30 as long as they had wickets in hand.
Yeah.
And then you just treat it like a 20-20. And you can still get these huge scores. And I still think that's the case now. Ooh, attempted pull by Moen, gets a top edge and virtually goes all the way, well, nearly goes all the way into the hands. Is that Darren Bravo down there? No, it's actually Nurse down there at long leg.
Brathwaite wasn't happy with that. He thought he should have gone in for the catch.
He could have made it.
I
think that's too far to make it.
Yeah,
it didn't go very high. It went very quick, pretty flat.
Really? I mean, maybe Usain Bolt might have got there. I'm not sure. Ashley Nurse is going to get that.
No, Ashley Nurse isn't going to get that. It's a bit harsh with Brathwaite there.
Yeah. I mean, I do like that with bowlers. I mean, more often.
Rightfully so. Make it! I wouldn't, but you should. There's a slip and there's a gully in. It's about second slip. Butler is facing up Brathwaite. He just drops it down the offside behind square and there's no run.
I think
the beaches look so nice.
They are. Have you?
I've been to Lucia.
Lovely island.
Beautiful island, and we stayed in Gros actually.
And then did you go up to the volcano?
No, we didn't go to the volcano. I was with a couple of lads, and we were quite young.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah, fair enough. So you had a lot of things to do.
A different type of volcano.
So
be it.
And we had a very nice gardener. who had lots of supplies for us. And
Good
weirdly,
vegetables, you mean.
Weirdly, listen to this. So this was so long ago that we found our place on Loot. In Loot, do you remember Loot? The free newspaper?
Oh, yes, I do. Of course
Exactly.
I do remember.
We
Loot.
found someone who had we were looking to go on a holiday, and we found this
Yeah.
dude who had his own house in St Lucia, and he was renting out. It was about 200 quid a week. That's clipped into the leg side by Moen, straight to mid wicket. Well, that's just defended, and there's no run. So we found this place on Loot, 200 quid a week, and it was about a 10-minute walk down from the wreck St Lucia. It's defended out to cover, and there's no run. About a bunch of sort of, pommies who. English people who had families working in diplomatic service or whatever, who had permanent passes at Rex St Lucia, and just chilled out there for a week or two. Defended out on the offside at the no run. It was good.
Yeah, it's a very pretty island.
It's a very. We went down to the Pitons, and there's a hotel there with black sand, and I can't remember what it's called. Smashed into the leg side, Moen. No one's going to get hold of that. That's a flat, sweet pull thing out to cow corner, and it's 4 runs.
1,
Slog sweep.
2, 3, 4.
Plays that well, doesn't he?
He does.
You just give him
Yeah.
enough width outside off stump, and then he can just free his arms.
I mean, look where his foot's gone down leg stump. He's just hammered it. That one, he's got the inside half trying to drive it at the bat, go down to mid wicket, and there's no run.
England may be targeting Nurse because he's 0 for 24 off just under 4.
Yeah, it's true. Goes back this time, cuts into the offside, can't beat him out at point, there's no run. I think these two need to. I don't think we can lose another wicket for another. I don't think until late 30s at 40, and even then you don't really want to. These two really kind of need to go through to about 42, 43 and start accelerating at 40. Well, certainly one of them's got to. And if you imagine if they're both there by then, it could be quite a dangerous situation for the West Indies, actually.
But I think whether the danger for England has been from the seamers rather than from the spinners, and they've been difficult to get away. Have the seamers? I mean, there's a bit in it in the wicket for them. Doesn't seem much in it. Not surprising, a one-day wicket for the spinners, and Ashley Nash is not in the top rank of spinners, I would suggest.
No.
So maybe that's where England can cash in if they can knock their seamers around for 4.5, 5 and over singles.
Oh, well, we have a. Do you reckon you can locate
I might be able to.
West Indies down the
powerful
bottom?
man.
W West Indies ODI.
Yeah, got it.
Probably far left, probably far right, actually.
Far right. Yeah, there we are.
Go, go, Thomas! Go, go, Thomas! Go, go! Number 1! Go, go, Thomas! Something good's gonna happen today. Oh, my, my. Hey, hey, hey. Use your ears, use your eyes. Thomas is in for a big surprise.
This first ball hurries up Butler a little bit. He played it down off his hip to long leg, and there's no run. As we watch the Universe boss there with his green, like Ray-Bans.
No, Ray-Ban's got the dreadlocks, got the cool thing
Yeah,
going
man,
for him.
he's cool. He's Chris Gale. I like Chris Gale, let's be honest. Moen in O'Shane Thomas. Over the top of the slips and the gully. There's 1 or 2 slips. I'll have a look in a minute. There was definitely a slip and a gully. A slip and a gully. And Gale's in at about a second slip. It goes over them. One bounce out, third man for a single. Ah, there we go. West Indies with 220 for 1. Gale 134, 129. Is that the game? Yeah, 372. That's about right. Yes. I remember watching that, and they just absolutely went mental. And you thought they're going nowhere fast. Butler drives that up. And Holder, I believe, is skipper at wide mid-off, comes across fields and there's a single. Have you got any tweets, by the way?
Yeah, we got just 1 or 2. So one's from Nestle Boy, who's found the Riddler on the train ride home.
The Riddler?
Someone dressed as Riddler, got a photo of that person.
Nice.
Which is awesome. And Wei Wei Pom with Warren was born in Lancashire, but we've managed to get rid of that tosser when he was 9.
Good move.
Yes, indeed.
Harsh calling a 9-year-old a...
Oh, Moen pulls out of that. It's a short ball. Thomas across him at 86 miles an hour. Gets up quite high. Did he want a wide for that? I think he did. Didn't seem to be given though. 111 for 5. England.
I think the two umpires had just a
brief
nod to
discussion.
each other.
Not to each other. That's a bit of a short ball.
Yeah, which would be, I think that's good umpiring as well, because you probably you should get a better view of the height of the delivery square leg umpire.
Yeah.
And I like to see the umpires working in tandem.
Well, Moen facing up. Thomas comes in bowls. Oh, he's edged that, hasn't he? No?
It's
he's walked
caught
up.
behind.
Caught
Bit of
behind.
excitement.
Yes, Moen has just tried to force it at the back foot. What we really didn't need to do. It wasn't really there for it. He maybe should have left it. It's an ODI. You can't really leave it. But it's too wide. It's forcing it. Didn't get across. Big edge taken by Shy Hope. And O'Shea Thomas gets his wicket on his comeback over.
You silly little boy, what on earth were you playing at?
Well, that's
Bit of a nothing shot.
Yeah, it was a very nothing shot. He's playing a forcing shot off the back. He's a one-day international.
Yeah, but it's a way.
It's the way
he
yeah.
does play like that. And, he's away from his body, but in the circumstances.
You'd rather it was a horizontal bat, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I mean, if you're going to, I mean, that's close to him, but you'd rather he was trying to cut it rather than trying to force it. That, especially, he ain't got a cross to it at all. His hands are miles away from his body.
Yeah, but in the situation of the game, I'd rather he left that.
Yeah, well, yes, there's that too. Yeah, obviously,
it's probably it's a poor bit of thinking in the circumstances. Look, if you're 303 for 3 and you're motoring, well, different kettle of fish. But there, in the situation you're in, you're trying to. It doesn't matter what type of cricket you play, whether it's 20-20, 50-50, or Test cricket. Batting's all about partnerships, and basically just need a partnership. Now we're just beginning to build a bit of a partnership there. Now he's out, then you're starting again, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, Butler's got to be there at the end now, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Butler's got to go through the whole way, and we might get a chance of getting what, 240, 250. Oh, that's what I need to check on.
That'll be interesting. I think West Indies should just go in for the kill at the moment.
Yeah, well,
I hope
that's what they should do.
Yeah, don't let them eke out easy singles and things. Just go in hard, and if they can roll for England in the next 50 runs.
Yeah, well, we have a new man to the crease, and it is him.
He's on Instagram, and he's a Twitter fan. On the Ashes tour, not Ben Stokes, but he'll have to do.
And he can certainly bat Wokesy. His first ball, he defends a bit up his sleeve back to the bowler, and there's no run. Yeah, it's a nothing shot. It should have been horizontal, really. He should have been trying to cut it rather than force it in that wide.
Yeah, no footwork. It's just one of those.
No, not at all.
Waft outside off stump.
Yeah, absolutely terrible, rubbish. Moen, I love Moen as well, but he really pisses me off sometimes.
Way Palm. It seems to be bowl it short and let England get out, trying to hook or cut. Seems to be working well. Well, the third option now is just bowl full, or not even full, just bowl just outside the off stump, and they'll hit their bat out to be edged and caught behind.
We've got to change of bowling.
We do indeed.
It is this man.
So let's see what the run line is down at the bookies.
Jason Holder. Jason
Have you seen Ashley Nurse? I mean, he's got his trousers tucked into his socks like a under 9-year-old would do. I don't know if he's done that for a bet, but it's quite an extraordinary look.
It is. I think when you go cycling.
Yeah. Bicycle clips on.
Right, the run line for England is. Let's see what happens here. As Butler leaves that through to the keeper, there's no run. 223.
223.
With Butler still there, it's easily doable.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, much depends on him. But yeah, Wokes is no mug with the bat, we know that.
In fact, over 252.5, which is really easily doable if Butler gets going. Which could also lose my money if he gets out. Is 10 to 3. It's come down to 250. As we look, we're watching Moen get out. I'm going to go. So I've gone over 250.5 for England in 50 overs. with 25 to go.
And you got 10 to
Confidence.
10 to 3.
3. That's a reasonable bet.
That's a reasonable bet. Yeah. Well, it all depends on Butler, really.
Yeah, you'd have thought so. But I mean, the good news for your bet is that England bat deep.
Yep.
So I mean, they've got 9, 10, and Jack could all hold a bat.
Indeed, they can. As he lets that through to the keeper, it's Butler, 21 off 29, 21 off 30, 111 for 6 at England. Who's at 11? Wood. Even
Well,
Wood
Wood
can hold a bat.
Yeah, it's going to hold
Got
a bat.
Rashid at what, 10?
10.
Curran 9 is
9.
he today?
Yeah, you got Curran in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long batting lineup. Butler's there, so. And there's plenty of time. There's still 25 overs.
Well,
left.
exactly.
Right,
I mean,
so you go,
I mean, unless they've got a plane to catch, and this is all a rigged game. Not that I'm suggesting it is.
The thing is, you just got to get yourself in a game, haven't you? I mean, even at 250, 260, if you if you think the wicket's reasonable and the outfield's slow, you've got to give yourself a chance at 250. Through to the keeper, left alone outside the off stump by Butler as Holder comes in. The third ball of his 6th over, and there's no run.
The outfield is slow. I mean, we've seen
very slow.
We've seen 2 or 3 shots that have been only a couple of runs each, which the other night would have crashed into the boundary boards for 4. So, and that's worth probably over 50 overs. That's probably worth another 30, 40 runs.
Yep. Holder up to the crease, bowls, pulled a little, straddled by Butler to wide mid-on, who's up, and there is no run.
Cherry Hinterland, good afternoon. Running out of wickets.
Yeah, we are running out of wickets. That's the problem. But then we're also running out of overs. That's the nature of 50-50. There is only 24 overs left.
Well, they can bat sensibly for the next 15.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, though. Like, there's a lot
that's
of
the thing. It is an
reckless
ODI, isn't it? You don't,
Give yourself a chance.
You don't have to worry about getting to the end of the day. You just got to get to the end of 50 overs. Butler plays it out to mid-wicket, and there's no run.
And also, the other thing you want to do is as we've seen, we've seen that who the danger bowlers are on this wicket, and it has been the taller, quicker bowlers.
And we've got Plunkett still.
And if you make sure you bat your 50 overs, they're going to have to find 10 overs from their slower bowlers, and that may be where England can cash in.
Yeah, and Adil Rashid is, as he proved his worth the other day, is becoming one of the premier bowlers in ODI cricket worldwide, I'd say. Holder bowls that, and Butler leaves it as a maiden and left alone outside the off stump, and England remain on 111-6. I mean, I do think that Adil Rashid now has total confidence in ODI cricket, thinks he is the man, rightly so, to be fair.
Well, I also think particularly when you get down to, I thought it was a good and a bold and brave move from Morgan to get Rashid to bowl that over. It would have been very easy to go to one of the seamers. He didn't. But when you get down to that situation, they still need whatever it was, 10, 12 and over, which they needed at the time. And you're bowling towards a sort of lower middle order and the tail. Most of them haven't got a frigging clue which way.
No,
it's
they
turning
don't.
it.
I mean, and he was bowling so many googlies the other day, and his googly is so good. Wokes just defends that behind square on the offside. Man from Gully comes across fields, and there's no run. And I mean, I always felt as a spinner, I loved bowling at the end of limited overs cricket. You always felt you were up. I mean, the whole name of the game is trying to get wickets, and I always fancied myself to be able to outfox a batsman. You know, you bowl a couple of darts, float one up. You might get smashed for a 6. Next one, he misses completely, stumped or whatever.
Because their hand is forced. They've got to run.
They've got to go. They've got to go for you.
Yeah.
And so you're slower, so they can hit through the line. But if you can get the line of length slightly wrong for them, then you've got a good chance. O'Shane Thomas is in. Wokes defends back to the bowler, and there's no run. I think we're going to have a couple of very low scoring overs coming up now as England just try to consolidate.
Windies are running through their better bowlers, though.
Huh?
They are running through their better bowlers.
Yeah,
So their top line bowlers are going through, and they get through this next 6-7 over spell. You'll be back to the part-timers and the slower bowlers.
Absolutely. I mean, but again, I think this is good captaincy from Holder. Go for the jugular.
Go for the jugular, yeah.
Agree.
O'Shane Thomas is in, and that could be the jugular. That's a fucking shit shot by Wokes. He tries to pull
ridiculous.
that, and Brathwaite has caught that at mid-wicket. It's gone fucking nowhere. Wokes, you're a fucking idiots. You just cost me money. Well, you haven't cost me money, because Butler can still get a mammoth score. But Butler goes. Wokes goes, sorry. Trying to pull that. Just a big top
it's
edge.
Just dumb batting there. I mean, you know what you need to do. You're out there supporting the other batsman. Just play that along the ground for a single.
Or leave it.
Or leave it, yeah.
That's
Another
should
option.
pass by harmlessly by at chest height. And I mean that almost tennis ball bounce on that ball. He was never in control of the shot. He's fresh to the wicket. He's been in. That was his fourth ball. I mean that's for a batsman who, for a cricketer who would you'd normally think is tolerably intelligent. That was that uber dumb.
He's a bowler.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was just a poor bit of cricket. I mean, it was a ball that really should have been fairly harmless. Let it go, particularly in the circumstances of the game. Just let it go by.
Yeah, bat turned in his hand, didn't it? And
he was never in control of anything there.
no, he wasn't indeed.
No, so I mean, what's Butler's strategy? Connor Chameleon mentions Butler should play the paceman conservatively and absolutely smash Nurse and Bishu when we bowled yet.
Well, that's basically what he's got to do. And he's still, Sangkang can bat and Adi can bat. That's the thing. But he's just got to bat some overs, keep some time, and get some singles, and work themselves into a position where they can go in the last 5-6 overs.
But they should also be thinking, who's at the other end. I mean, this is a guy who is a game changer. He's a game winner.
Exactly. His last 100, and oh my god. They swapped ends. Butler just nearly played it straight to Brathwaite, who dived up with his right hand, left hand, and just about cleared him. He didn't get done for pace there. He said he got the wrong pace of that, didn't he?
But
it wasn't a particularly different ball. He was just, maybe it just pitched a little bit, held a bit in the wicket.
Yeah, I think it did. It almost stopped in the wicket a bit, and
just about cleared mid-wicket.
Yeah, thank heaven for good modern bats, because of old bats that would have been spooned straight to mid-wicket.
Well, I've just bought my son a new bat, size 4. Oh my god, what the fuck was that? That's out. Butler has just I think this wicket isn't particularly great. I can't see us losing to that score, but Butler has just screwed my bet over completely, because he's who I was lying on. Seemed to get done again. Seemed to jump off the wicket this time, and he tried to pull it. It came off a top edge. It was on a front foot.
Caught out a deep
trying
shot.
It's stupid. Trying to pull it off the front foot, really. Top edge, skewed out to deep square leg, and he's caught and he's gone. You're going to salute?
On your fine, mate.
Cox really called it out there indeed. Go on. So say your piece, Pralab.
Oh, look, I was just going to say, it just seems that England really lack a lot of on-field leaderships when they're down in the ducks. There seems to be a few cricketers, like Curran might come up with an innings here and there, but I've noticed in England ODI cricket, when they collapse, they really collapse. They don't really have these
they
properly fight it out. And partly that's a middle order that doesn't seem to have the leadership capability to tell other batsmen and play within themselves. I mean, I get being attacking all the time, but it's dictated by the circumstances, and the circumstances are not to play that shot. Or tell the other batsman to pull your head in and actually leave the ball once in a while.
And also, just as you say, I mean, look, there's been an entire revolution. We understand that since first ball, new batsman, ducks underneath it, there is no run. We'll give you the new batsman's jingle for It Is This Man.
The most effectual top cat, who's intellectual, close friends get to won't deceive.
And this is the worry for England in any World Cup or any tournament, isn't it? It's the one game that they fuck up really badly.
Yeah, I think
is in the knockout stages.
Yeah, I think it's all well and good having that very positive approach, which is fine. But that sometimes, particularly if you're batting first, I'm sure England would have had they won the toss, they'd have bowled first. But that's the nature of cricket. You lose half the tosses. What you've got to assess is what the wicket is like, and you've got to assess it pretty quickly. Now, okay, fair enough. Maybe you're 2-3 wickets down by the time you do that, but then you need to just reassess and say, okay, fair enough. it's not a 400 wicket. It may not even be a 300 wicket. This may be a 280 win wicket, and that's what the really good sides do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just become too one-dimensional.
Indeed, as Moeen, Adil Rashid is on the back foot and defends it out to cover. And there ain't no run.
Wait, Pom, we're doomed. Is that fair summation for Pom supporters?
I think that's very much a fair summation.
Yeah, it's a very difficult. There was hope for England when Butler and Wakes were in there because they both proper batsmen. Now you're down to bowlers who bat.
Well, I think that's a bit harsh on Adil Rashid, to be fair. He scored 16 first-class tons. He certainly can bat. Defended behind square and there's no run.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of his, and there are undoubtedly worse number 10s in world cricket.
There are a lot worse number 10s than Adil Rashid.
So he can do it, and look, in many respects, you've got nothing to lose now. You've got 20 odd overs to bat, which you don't often get as a number 10, so take your opportunity.
Exactly.
End up 60 not out, give you England a chance. Who knows? It's possible.
Indeed. He lets that one through to the keeper and there's no run. I think being big an ODI at some point you've got to go, but I suppose you've got to leave it till the last 2 overs now, haven't you, really?
Well, just back time because and also as you said before, it's been the main seam bowlers from the West Indies who've done the damage, and thus far, because England have collapsed, they haven't had to bowl their spinners.
No.
Make them bowl them.
Holder in. Oh, is that a leg side? He's out, surely. No?
No, a bit of...
I think it's probably thigh
guard then.
Ballooned up for a while. It looked like a catch, but didn't seem to do that much enthusiasm in the West Indian side.
It's more sort of tennis ball bounce that you're going to get off
the thigh pad, but it could have ballooned off the gloves.
It could have done.
I mean, that's what my initial impression was, but
they didn't seem too interested, did they?
No.
It's
it's clearly thigh actually. It's gone past the gloves.
Good bit of show pony wicket keeping from Shea Hope.
Indeed.
Good one for the cameras to take.
Oh, he tried to turn that around the corner. Obviously, he got leading edge. It's ballooned up. Unfortunately, it's gone nowhere and just dropped down about 2 feet in front of him.
I think this has been.
No run. I think this is a tricky wicket.
It is. Fair. I mean, that's been the nature of this wicket. Has been the ball that has almost stuck in the wicket. I mean,
the other ones have hopped up.
Yeah. And so I mean, I do think it's slightly too paced, as we're just seeing ultra edge on that, and I don't think
it's clipped.
The ball has gone past his gloves, hasn't it? Now, so I think it's just off the side pad.
Wow, that one's shot through. The big appeal he's been given. Adil Rashid's gone. I mean, that was an absolute corker of a delivery by Holder. It's a good length ball. It's leapt up at Adil Rashid. He wasn't in line with it, fair enough, but it's gone about probably helmet height past him. He's tried to fend it. He's got a feather through to the keeper. It's actually that's taken off the wicket and gone through real quick. Not a lot he could do about that. I mean, that's a
snorter.
That's an absolute snorter in a test match. You'd love that.
Yeah, you would indeed.
It looks like it could be a short bloody game, this one, eh?
It could be. An abbreviated game.
I mean, on that note, Adrian Morris, West Indies cricket tearing through them now. Will England have the firepower to make the most of these conditions?
Well, the problem is, if batting second, you know you're only chasing that sort of total.
You just bat like a test match. You only got to get 2 and over, roughly.
It doesn't matter. You can play. Not that I think Chris Gale is going to do that, because I don't think he's got the game to do it. But you can play out 10 maidens. It really wouldn't matter.
No.
And England have to almost have a regulation test field to start with. Have, say, 3 slips, gully, maybe a short leg, attack, try and get early wickets.
Yeah.
But if you do that, there are going to be spaces there's going to be spaces in the field so you can pick up your runs. So you've got all your eggs in one basket. It's very, very difficult.
It is. But
they've got to be 20 for 4, haven't they? Otherwise, the game's over.
Yep, that's about right. Shane Thomas into Curran, who's been splattered his stumps. What the fuck was that, you fucking idiot? You absolute numpty. That was his first fucking ball with 22 fucking overs left, and he leaves it, goes out to the leg side, and tries to sneer a fucking Yorker through the offside. Gets his stumps splattered instead. You're a fucking imbecile. Jesus fucking Christ. 113 England all out.
Well, you wonder what that conversation was between Wood and Curran as Wood was coming to the wicket. You know what I'm going to do, Woody? I'm going to back away outside off stump.
I mean, that's just imbecilic.
I think the conversation is, the pitch is really a great position right now. Let's go out there and bowl. We'll try to get them out.
Well, in which case, why not declare?
Fucking hell. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh, well. Hey-ho.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know what happens now. I don't know whether they have 40-minute break or whether they come back out.
Yeah, they might still go on. Isn't that the rule? Like if you...
I think they do still go on. I think there'll be a 10-minute turnover, and then they'll be back out.
Can we have a 10-minute break?
I think we should have a 10-minute break. Does someone want it? What do you think it's 10 minutes over?
Yeah. The Brains Trust from the green room informs us it's a 10-minute turnaround.
Well, I'm so pissed off. I'm not going to sit here and talk about this shit for the next 10 overs.
I might.
10 minutes. Unless you have something to say.
I have.
Go on then.
Yeah. Look, what you have to say, it's very well played by the West Indies. They're a good toss to win, no doubt. They bowled well. Poor from England. 2 or 3 wickets down. You've got to reassess what the wicket's like. And what you can't do in sport is just to have plan A. You've got to be adaptable and work out. Yeah, fair enough. We got 400 the other day. Big deal. This is a very different type of wicket. It's a very different type of outfield. And what is disappointing is the fact that England only made West Indies bowl 4 overs of spin. Now it's 4 overs, no maidens, 0 for 24.
Yep.
That's where they had to cash in. It was a seamer's wicket. Fair enough. Let them almost bowl them out, knock them around for a few singles, let the ball go by. Yeah, I know that's not what you normally do in ODI cricket, but you have to be adaptable, and they weren't.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's the real disappointment. And what they've got to do is go away and hopefully learn from that. Look, you've got to get it right on the big stage. I'm not saying this is the big stage. It's a bilateral ODI competition, and it's going to end up almost certainly 2-2. But come the World Cup, when the pressure is on, will they have learned from that? They're probably not going to get another pitch like this necessarily in the World Cup, but that they
you have to be able to adapt, don't you? I mean,
do, and you've got to
like
be
when we lost to Pakistan in that ICC semi-final. Champions Trophy. It was a warm pitch, and they didn't know what to do. As you say, they just carry on in that single vein.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched. Did you come in and do any of the Asia Cup?
No.
And those wickets. 230 was a really competitive score.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to bat that game out and know how to play that game.
Yeah, but also make that assessment early enough in the piece. I mean, there's no good trying to do that when you're 7 or 8 down. You've got to do that when you're 2 or 3 down. And give yourself time, and they didn't, and no one seemed to make that assessment. That being said, I don't want to take anything away from the West Indies.
No,
they bowl very well, and that good fields, and yet again hold the captain very well.
Goal captain Shane Thomas with a 5 for just a couple of tweets. So, Wei Pom, I think the bear should really say what he really thinks.
Yeah,
catch him. On the positive side, so silver lining here, a Nottinghamshire player is joint top scorer. So there's a plus there. Seagrave Sab, 111 for 5 to 113 all out. What the fuck have I just seen? You fucking wankers.
Well, exactly. You're fucking right.
Is that tweeted directly related to the bear?
Well,
it seems to favour similar language.
I think I'm just channeling what most English thought. A feeling right
So
now.
a couple more on that one. Okay, so Chris TB may have just convinced a non-cricket mate to listen more frequently. He found Bear's rant hilarious. Ian Dirk, epic rant from the bear there. Hendo, the relational one there. Wow. And yeah, I think we have to do. But 111 for 5 to 113 all out is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
For an international cricket team.
It's somewhat negligent. On that, we'll all agree.
But
But
on a positive note, well, it's not really positive actually. I just thought, for fucking hell, I'll do it. I put £2 on England at 18 to 1. which is really skinny odds, actually, in this situation. What the hell?
Yeah, it is.
I'm
skinny
thinking
odds.
positive, Manny. I'm thinking positive.
Yeah. Wishful
As you
thinking.
say, we got to get him for 20 for 4.
Yeah, look, if you did that, then the thing is, he's got to open up with Woods. He's got to give him probably 2 slips, gully, short leg. It feels something like that. But the problem is, as I say, if Wood bowls wide of off stump,
Yeah.
the West Indian openers,
They're just going to cream it through the
well,
curve.
or just leave it. They don't have to play.
Yeah.
They don't have to play. If they're 0 for 0 off 10 overs, it doesn't
it's
matter.
not a problem.
It's simply, there is no pressure on the scoreboard at all. For them.
Exactly.
So you've got to. England have to.
113 or 40 is less than 3 and over, isn't it?
And also, I know England. England have got 2 frontline spinners in now. They're probably not going to get a bowl, and if they might get a token bowl at the end if they're 90 for 1.
Well, actually, yeah, exactly. Well, if you had them for, let's say, 80 for 6, Adam Rashid might be quite useful.
Yeah, possibly so, because against the tail he'd always be useful. But England have got to come out. They've got to bowl to attacking fields. Wood will undoubtedly take the new ball. Are they going to give it to their next bowler, Stokes? If he's fired up and angry, maybe he might be an option. I'm not sure that necessarily it's going to be Curran's type of wicket. I'm not sure he's tall enough to extract that differential bounce that or difference in bounce that we've seen on this wicket. I think the taller bowlers.
I think it's
get more out
changing
of this.
pace as well as much as
but
the bounce. Some of them seem to stick, and I don't think that necessarily means hitting in the wickets.
But he's more of because of the height he is. He's more of a skiddy type bowler. I think that if England are going to get anything out of this, it's down to Wood, who's obviously the quickest England bowler on view. Stokes, who can stick it in short, and I think you've got to stick most of your eggs in that particular basket and hope you get them 20 for 4.
Indeed. Well, here's a question actually. What is the lowest winning total first innings in an international ODI? And ideally in the modern era.
Well, I was going to go.
If you go back to 1970,
yeah,
I'm sure
indeed, 180 was quite a good score.
Yeah, exactly. It was 60 overs as well.
With Boyks and Edridge grinding it out. I have no idea. Is the short answer.
There must be some crazy games.
I remember there was a game. It was India and Bangladesh, and Stuart Binney took 6-4 in the second innings to win him, defending I think 88 odd maybe from memory. I'm not sure on the exact number, but that was a low-scoring game.
The great Rubbish Binney.
Rubbish Binney. It was one of his greatest claim to fame, having the leading record for the best figures for around that.
He married Mayanki, whatever her name is, who I used to speak to on Star Sports.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think he did marry her. Just a couple more tweets. Pirate Budge, well, that's some good work done by the Windies. England, good grief, and now there's like a trend going. Love the hashtag bear rant. Nick Ranger, Dave Warner, he's a cheat. Jay Grover went out to meet a couple of friends, had a few pints, set out to hurry back to listen to the cricket. The pub had no telly. Oh, what on earth? Sadly, I also missed the Bears rant. Okay, that's it.
You can listen to it on highlights.
You can hear the highlights. Connor Chameleon, another England collapse in a test match caused by the influence of white ball cricket. Oh, wait.
Yeah, it's collapsing a white ball game. Aren't Bangladesh getting humped by New Zealand?
They are.
They had an opening partnership of about 300, didn't they, or something? Close to.
Yeah, Williamson made 200 not out.
Oh, did he as well?
They made. Hell.
So they must have made 700, 600.
Yeah, they made. I think they made. It was close to 700 if they didn't get there. He declared after he got his 200, and it was a sort of one-man show from Bangladesh. Tamim got some runs at the top of the order in the first innings, and indeed in the second innings as well. But they're still. I think they're 4 down and still over 300 behind. So work to do.
Yes. Well, I saw the scorecard and they were 420 odd or something for 3, I think it was, and that's it. Kane Williamson was only on about 60 or 80 at the time, and I looked at the scorecard and there was a couple of tons at the top of the order.
Have Bangladesh won an away test match yet?
I think they have.
I think they may have beaten. I feel like they did win one about 2 years ago.
Did they beat Sri Lanka or did they beat?
Yeah, it was Sri Lanka or Zimbabwe. It was one of the two. But they did. I do recall them winning something.
because they're a difficult side to beat it in their home conditions. And look, I mean,
did you see Sri Lanka beating the Sappers?
I most certainly did. How joyous was that? Particularly the first test.
The first one.
The first test was, I mean, Pereira's innings there
was amazing.
Just extraordinary. He was obviously batting on a different track to everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
And then in the second innings, I thought, like a lot of people, the fourth innings, that was going to be a difficult chase for Sri Lanka. And they won it with the greatest of
They won
ease.
a gallop, yeah.
And I think South Africa are in another period of great introspection, which is very funny. Because have you seen that one of their leading
Dwayne Olivier has gone to Colpack.
Yeah, he should be Dwayne Oliver, but he's Olivier, and he's been tempted to come over here and play
for Yorkshire.
For Yorkshire,
for 3 years, 150 grand a year.
Yeah, indeed. So,
well, I mean, you can't, you know.
Yeah, which I understand.
I mean, I think he was offered.
He was
offered. I think it's 50 grand a year to stay as a, sensible contracted player in South Africa.
Okay.
Right.
Are we going to have a change for the starting England innings? I don't know if you want to do that.
So just the lowest totals defended. 101 for 9, Australia. It's been cut versus the West Indies in Sydney in 1992. India defended 105 against Bangladesh. That's the game I was talking about with Stuart Binney, 2014. So it is defendable.
It is. First ball is into Chris Gale, who just knocks it down the long leg, and there is a single. What's going on?
I'm happy to do a bit more ball by ball because then it would
then
suit me. It
go.
would suit me to do. Is that okay if I do a few?
Do you want
overs?
to do that? Is that all right? Manny goes ball by ball and you two come in. Okie dokie.
I'll do 5, 7 overs or something.
10. We've got to do 10.
10. I'll be all over that.
Right. I'm going to let Andy sit down. I'm going to do the next ball, and then once Andy has sat down, then he can talk, and you can swap into this chair. Woody's going to come in to bowl to Campbell, who plays that behind square. It's palmed around the corner by man 45, and they'll get a single. Andy's going to talk. Knuckles going to come in, and Manny's going to do some ball by ball.
Yeah, Kerry Narden. No one likes an after timer. Kerry put 50 on the Windies yesterday at 3. England had to slump after last week. You didn't tell us that before, though, did you? And yeah, but it's no point saying it now. And Josh Holland said Ireland defended 148 in 2008 and New Zealand 156 in 2003.
Wokes goes full and Gale plays a somewhat ambitious extra cover drive to that, gets it off a thick inside edge, and it dribbles out on the side, and there is no run. The Windies chasing a target of 114. Yes, you heard it correctly, 114. England bundled out for 113, and it should be, frankly, a walk in the park, and unless England can reduce them to, say, 20 for 4. Wokes in bowls, and this is swung up very hard by Chris Gale. A thick outside edge, up and over slip. There would have been a dolly to fly slip. There is no fly slip, and it's one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Off the flashing bat of this man.
If you knew Chris Gale like I know Chris Gale,
you know he's a pretty shit human being.
Well, I think that's open to debate. Wokes in bowls, and this is pulled massively by Gale past a diving and forlorn mid-wicket out to the boundary for one of these.
It's Nissan she. It's Nissan she.
After the bowling of this dejected fellow.
He's on Instagram, and he's a Twitter fan. On the Ashes tour, not Ben Stokes, but he'll have to do.
He's obviously got a party to go to, hasn't he, Chris Gale?
Well,
comes down the track and just smashes this next one over deep mid-wicket for one of these.
Smack it in the air. Smack it in the air. Legs move it side to side. Smack it in the air. Smack it in the air.
Smaximum.
16 off the first over. It's a
Yeah.
different game now.
Well, yeah, but he's got complete and utter license to play. I do think it's a very strange decision, though. If England are in this position, which they are, behind the 8 ball, why would you open your first over? You need quick wickets. You've got a guy who bowls 8-10 mile an hour quicker than Chris Wokes. Why wouldn't you give it to your quickest bowler? He's got choice of ends. And say, right, we need early wickets. You've now given them a 16-run start, and now you bowl Wokes. You now bowl Wood. I don't understand that.
Presumably, Chris Wood was having to be restrained from grabbing the ball out of Chris Wokes' hand.
Well, I'd hope he would.
Anyway, he's on now.
Yeah, it's 1 over too late.
Agreed.
Mark Wood?
Seem to have been saying that a lot
Yes, he is an
today.
England bowler, quite good and pretty quick. So just a normal guy. Of course, except for just one thing. What? He thinks that he's a horse. What?
Round the wicket he bowls, and it's left alone by Campbell, and it's through to the keeper, and there is no run.
Absurd leave from this man.
It's rather good leave. I quite liked it.
Courtney Walsh.
Opening bat and he bowls off breaks as well. He's gonna get you, John, get you. Campbell, John is coming for you. Campbell, he is on his debut. John Campbell, oh, what's he gonna do?
Round the wicket, Wood in bowls, and this is played defensively down into his boot by Campbell. Not quite sure where the ball had gone for a moment. It dribbles out harmlessly onto the offside. The other point I make as well is, if I'm Morgan, I'm thinking, and you've had a bit of time to think about this, would you not say to yourself, would get involved in my first over, I would then be really annoying Stokes in the changing room, saying, right, well, you're a useless ginger tosser, really annoy him.
He's more likely to hit you than bowl fast.
Well, he might do, but I'd take that risk. And say, right, I want
You're a braver man than me.
Wood in bowls, short. Campbell attempts the pull shot. He gets it off a bottom edge. He goes straight down into the ground and through to the keeper. And there is no run. I would just wind him up and say, right, I want 4 of your quickest overs. Give me absolutely everything. He's a quicker, meaner, nastier bowler than Wokes is. And say, right, you can have whatever field you like. Let's really attack here. Let's bowl round the wicket if you want. Go at their heads. I don't mind. Just give me absolutely everything.
If it's an overrate, fine, so be it. Brendan McCullum would bowl his 2 fastest bowlers straight through.
Wood bowls, and Campbell leaves alone and then plays a table tennis shot once the ball has gone past. It's through to Butler, and there is no run.
He suddenly spots a fly down by his right thigh.
Yeah, he likes a bit of showmanship, does Campbell. And
they do at least seem to have 3 slips in, from what I can see.
Yeah, they
so
do.
that's
And
something.
Yeah, it did. And proper fields. I just query whether I think Wokes was the wrong choice.
I'm a big fan of Owen Morgan's captaincy, but I think he has missed a trick.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's 100 to 1. You're going to win the game. Good length ball by Wood, but angling in, but not quickly enough for his liking. Left by Campbell, more on length than anything else. Through to Butler, and there is no run.
This actually reminds me of an England-New Zealand game. Remember that game at the World Cup where New Zealand demolished England? Tim Southey took 6 for, and then Brendan McCullum and Martin Guptill basically chased it down in 14 overs.
Yes, but if you're chasing a low total, you've got complete and utter license to play.
Yeah.
I mean,
Finn went for 50 off his first 2 overs.
I mean, not that Gale's probably going to change his modus operandi much in any event. Wood in bowls, and an attempted hook shot from Campbell to a wide. It's given as a wide. It was tennis ball-y type bounce. So 1 more to the total, 17 without loss. Campbell did his very best to get a nick on that, and he almost succeeded. It was a bad shot. I mean, any ball above your eye line, just leave it alone.
Yeah, I suppose I was thinking you might top edge it for 6.
Yeah, well, that was the only. You can't control that type of shot. 3 slips in place, in bowls, and
nice.
Good ball, back of a length, and Campbell, to be fair, plays it quite well. He goes up on his toes, pretends he's not concerned by that. He was for a while. Takes his bottom hand off the bat and drops it down in front of him. Any more tweets?
Yes, lots of tweets. Pirate Badshah says Bangladesh beat Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe and the West Indies away. Ezra Hines says England were bowled out between nappy changes. He doesn't say if it's his or if he's got a baby there. Jay Grover, Manny, have you lost weight or does the booze regime just give you the shits? Or both? Or both is mine. Nestle Boy says, is Hendo all right after that rant? Well, it was the bear, so he probably is. And Charles Bartlett says, get Joffrey in for Curran. I don't think he's eligible yet.
He's not. He will be by the time of the World Cup.
He's not going to go in cold in the World Cup. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
Well, they have to pick the squad before he's eligible, but they do have some games after that. So they're playing Pakistan in five ODIs. They're playing Afghanistan. They've got some warm-up games as well.
There'd be no point playing someone in those games who wasn't in your squad.
Yeah, quite, unless someone's injured, I guess. Lots of people laughing at England on Facebook Live, and so you should.
It will be Wokes to continue, which is a brave move in itself. He's got a rather different field now. He's got 2 slips of gully square cover, mid-off, mid-on, square leg, and then a couple of scouts out on the leg side. He's got a deep fine leg and looks as though he's got a deep cow as well. He runs into bowl to the mighty Gale, who has a slog at this. He's obviously bored. He's definitely got a party to go to. Some woman waiting for him, probably several.
That was so premeditated.
Yes.
Yep, nothing wrong with that.
Why?
Why
does that surprise you with Chris Gale? If it's short, he's going to.
Just not used to him moving that much.
I'm literally just on a free roll here. If he gets a quick 40 off 20 balls, then the game's over.
Yeah, that game's over anyway. Wokes over the wicket in bowls, and that's picked up and clipped over deep mid wicket for one of these.
That's a beautiful shot.
It was. He cleared his front leg. Gave him ample opportunity to get plenty of bat on the ball, which he did. Lovely timing, good footwork as well, good balance. I mean, it just shows you the importance of having, as a batsman, a good base, and he's moved his feet really well there. He's got a really strong base to hit from, and it was a fairly effortless shot in the end.
It's just in the end, it's just a little
pick-up.
It's just a little sort of forearm jab over.
Look, the technique. There is a technique to hitting the ball hard. Here he goes again.
Up and over extra cover. That could be 6 more. Straight into the boundary sponge. That should be 6. They will check it, but it should be given as 6.
2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row.
I'm going to look up the record for the fastest ODI 50.
Yeah, there is a technique to hitting the ball hard, and Gale does all the right things. As you say, he has a good base. His head is still. He hits through the line of the ball. I know it's not MCC, but there are differences between power hitting and regular shots, and all the power hitting techniques that you need, he does very well.
He does indeed.
It's not what I'm saying. It's not just Bruce, and he's got great brute strength.
Yeah, look, he's a big man, but again, he wasn't trying to swing himself off his feet, was he?
No, exactly.
Yeah, but in the modern way, he clears his front leg, works in, bowls to him again. This time, it's a sort of tennis ball bounce. Is it going to be wided? No, it's not. Gale genuinely did leave that ball alone.
Yeah, that's a better length. You can't bowl length to Chris Gale at this point.
No, but look, the trouble is the margins for error for bowlers at this level is minimal, particularly in the early overs when you've only allowed 2 out, and particularly if you're bowling to somebody as good as Gale. So yeah, he's looking for the Yorker. He gets it a foot wrong, it can go short, and this is paddle pull with great timing by Chris Gale, almost like a forehand cross court to the deep square leg boundary for one of these.
Yeah, Work's actually beaten him there, and he still managed to get it for 4.
Great shots of the West Indies fans dancing and laughing at the same
and
time.
and of course you would be at this stage, wouldn't you? It's hilarious. The fastest ODI 50 is 16 balls that was hit by A.B. de Villiers when he got to his 149. That was also in the innings that he hit the fastest ODI 100.
You wonder whether you think this is probably going to be a maximum of a 2 over spell. I'm guessing for Chris Wokes. Short pulled,
he's under it.
That could be out, is out.
Yeah, well, there
Panned
you go.
it down to Adil Rashid.
Doesn't want to go.
And Chris Gale has decided he's not out. I'm not quite sure why.
It would
Does
be
he think it's a bum ball? Does he think it's...
It would be quite funny if it was a no ball.
Does he think... Well, what
England-
else is going to
England-
save him? I mean,
England don't bowl many no balls.
but Chris Gale isn't walking off. It's not a no
even
ball.
close.
So what does he think it is? A bum ball? I mean, Chris, I think you'll find that's out, mate.
The girls aren't quite ready yet.
Is he claiming he wasn't ready? He's walked down the track. And is he saying that? Is he just saying that was a no ball for height?
But he hit
But
it.
that's a wide.
But he hit it.
It can't be a no ball for height.
No.
It can't
unless,
be a wi-
unless it's a second of the over.
And it can't be a wide if he's hit it.
No. So I'm not quite sure why he's
Oh,
hanging
Is,
around.
is it that there's
The
already
second
been
short
one
ball.
second short ball in the over, but the umpire I think has said no.
Oh,
he's given
it
us
is
the
a
no ball.
Oh wow, well played, Gale. And
Yeah,
we're
well done
all-
for knowing
we're
the
all-
laws.
We're all wrong. Yes.
Over the line!
Well, it's not over the line, but
Well, it's over a line.
I think that's a poor call. He's come down the track to him. He's come down the track.
Yeah,
to
but
him.
it is still going up.
Yeah,
you,
but-
you
yeah, but
judge it by
coming down the track means it's higher.
Well, but I think that's a very harsh and a wrong decision.
I don't.
Let's watch Chris Gale bat a bit more.
Because I think this is still,
Morgan is rarely is normally a very
Phlegmatic,
calm, a calm captain. I think that's a very poor bit of umpiring. Anyway, it's been no balled. Chris Wokes is also pretty phlegmatic. I think he's now seen the amusing side
well,
of things.
then it's just it's at this point it's just I'd like a word every now and then as well. At this point it's just it's one of those days, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure it is. But it was a poor shot from Gale. He deserved to be out, and in my book he was out. And I think that's between them. I think the three umpires have got that horribly wrong. Anyway, it's 34 for none. Doesn't matter what I think. Gale, that ball
insult to injury.
He has lofted that straight back over the bowler's head and into the second tier. Certainly the first tier.
That fastest 50 is definitely on.
Yeah,
and that is the end of Chris Wokes' spell. Naught for plenty.
Yeah.
Of 2 overs.
just regarding that bouncer, it was still going up. The law is that you have to judge it based on the batsman's normal stance, and the umpire has obviously sort of drawn a straight line through it that would have been over shoulder height when it was in his normal stance.
That is, yes, but that in itself, given how far down the track he was, that is absolute guesswork. I think you've got to go with what's on the pitch, and I think any natural justice says that has to be out.
Well,
I
there
think
ain't, there ain't no justice.
Yeah, no, that maybe it's going to make subtle difference to the game in any event. But I think that's a poor bit of umpiring from all three of them, and I think it's emphasised by the reaction of two pretty phlegmatic men in Morgan and Wokes. They were both visibly irritated by that, and I totally understand why.
I'd be annoyed as well if I was the bowler. By the way, that 6 didn't go in the first tier, it went on the roof.
Yeah, it did. It was difficult to follow because it went so far. But anyway, they've probably got a new ball, and it will be wood to continue. I
Not
think.
Chris Wokes' best day. The 4-ball duck and 2 overs for about 40.
Yeah. Wood.
Looks angry.
In bowls to Campbell, who again plays that exaggerated leave across the bows of him, just back of a length, and lets the ball go through, and then plays an imaginary short arm jab pull shot once the ball has gone well past him.
Does anyone know why John Campbell's wearing a black armband?
Isn't it now de rigueur where I don't think any cricket game in the last 50, certainly 30 years has happened without somebody wearing a black armband for something.
A nice tweet from Daniel Foreman. He's gone through Morgan's repertoire of shouts to the team. They've got to bat on the same strip. Not easy a chase like this. Couple of wickets and you never know. That's good if they want to have a go. Come on, lads, let's make it difficult for them. Oh well, more drinking time.
He's bowled him. Pitched up delivery, straight through Campbell. Too quick for him. He was absolutely nowhere there. And he's a loose batsman. He gives you a chance all the time. The West Indies are 40 for 1, and frankly, they are crumbling to defeat.
Crumbling with the pressure.
I mean, that was a really ambitious shot. And that was a ball angled across the right-hander. And he's trying to, with no footwork at all, he's trying to whip that away through mid-wicket. He might have got a thin inside edge, but his cannon onto off stump, and it was a poor bit of batting. I'm not impressed with Campbell, I have to say. I think he's far too loose. I think he needs to go away, both in red and white ball cricket, and rethink his game.
He's a stopgap in the white ball format, isn't he?
I think he's a stopgap currently where he is in the red ball game as well.
Well, haven't we got 2 stopgap openers?
Well, you could argue that. For me, I'd have made the change in any event. I wouldn't. I think taking Jennings to the Test match series in West Indies was a mistake. He's all over the shop. His head is any further back. I mean, he's almost tortoise-like. His head is so far retracted from the ball. To me, and I'd have said, right, bitten the bullet. I'd have gone Burns and Roy to open. I think Roy deserves his chance. People say, oh, he's only a white ball cricketer. They said the same about David Warner.
They did.
And Josh Butler.
And to a lesser. I mean, comparing like with like, I was thinking about openers.
Virinder Sehwag going back.
Possibly so. But give him a anyway. We have a new man to this crease. Is he the man for the crisis? It's this man.
The West Indies have hope.
Shay ho, Shay ho, Shay, Shay, Shay ho, Shay, Shay ho, Shay ho, Shay ho.
Now, if I'm Mark Wood, I want a short leg or a leg gully into him in bowls, and it's back of a length. And I think he has
got one.
He's got a short. I think he's got a short.
Deep
square
short leg. Short leg.
Well, as is the modern way. First of all, it's back of a length, and it cannons into the body of Hope, and he's very late on the shot, you'd have to say. Mark Wood has got his tail up. He's got 1 for 1. It's been difficult from his end. It's been very easy from the other end, and it reinforces our point about not opening the bowling with Chris Wokes.
Yeah, I think the deep short leg. It's a quick pitch and a bouncy pitch, and the ball is presumably going to fly.
He's in, he bowls, and down the leg side. Has he moved? Is that going to be wided? Oh, it is. He moved. It was one of those that you might have got away with it on another day. He moved an awful long way inside the line of the ball, outside the line of off stump. But by the time he'd gone through to the keeper, it looks a long way down the leg side. Anyway, it has been wided. Fair enough call.
Wow.
That won't improve Mark Wood's mood.
No, Jerry Hinterland says, is this one of those newfangled 100-ball things? So it might not take that long. And boring cricket in a second.
The next ball to Hope hurries him once again. He plays a jabbing defensive shot. He gets a thick inside edge, and it squirts down to long leg for a single. He didn't know an awful lot about that. Is this Chris Gale's first ball against Mark Wood? I think it is.
Yeah, it might be. Yes. Boring cricket says, I wonder if he means Wokes and Morgan, if they'll get dissent bans. I don't think it was that confrontational.
No, absolutely not. It wasn't exactly Roy Keane, was it? Nose to nose. I mean, it was a bit more than a polite inquiry.
There
but
were no visible veins in the neck.
No, and I mean that's not Morgan's way, nor is it Chris Wokes' way. I think they were undoubtedly surprised by the decision. A good short ball that whizzes past the nose of Chris Gale, and he just bends his back.
That's another wide.
Allows it through. No, it's not. That's surely not going to be wide. That's gone past his nose.
It's been given wide.
Really? Well,
I want to see that from side on.
So
I'm not
do
sure
I.
about that.
Nor am I, because that to me looked as though it went straight past his grill. Some strange umpiring decisions. It is a wide, 43 for 1. Another ball for him to bowl to him. He's in, he bowls. And has he been caught? No, well, I'm not sure it came off bat. I think it's come off arm. It's fallen short of Ben Stokes, and there is no run. He didn't seem too interested in getting behind the line of this, it must be said. It's hit him on the shoulder as he's gone for an ambitious pull shot.
He sort of pulled out of it, didn't he?
There was no bat involved. Ben Stokes coming forward, trying to take the ball on the fall, didn't manage it. Wouldn't have mattered. There was no bat.
It certainly looks a different kettle of fish trying to play these shots off Mark Wood than Chris Wokes, which just underlines your point.
Yeah, in bowls, and he's just had a slog at that. And just a old-fashioned village Yahoo, and missed everything. It's through to Butler, and there is no run. He might be wanting to think, if he's going to continue playing like this, fly slip in as well.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout if there's not one already.
Yep. Difficult to see. We don't often get the wide angle
Full
shot,
vista.
do we? Any more tweets, or are
no,
we
we're
up to date?
we're more or less caught up. Just a couple of things about the end of England's innings, which was a very sudden, a sudden collapse. I have to say, I was sitting in the green room for that last wicket, and as soon as Curran stepped away, I said, "That's out." It was so obvious that he was just exposing his stumps.
Yeah,
and you've got 30 overs to bat.
Yeah, it was strange. But what I'd like to know is, because Curran went up to Mark Wood, the last man in,
Yes, you
and
said.
they had a conversation about, and you just wonder what the hell was that conversation about.
Dinner
I am going to
reservations?
play the worst shot you've ever seen, Mark. Just watch this, because you're not going to play.
I bet it's not the worst one
Oh
I've
my
ever
good-
seen. Oh, hold my beer.
Goodness me, what a strange decision.
That is.
It's Wokes to continue, and he's struck on the pad. That's going to be pretty
not bad.
close and
Yeah,
given. He's going to review it. I don't think he's hit it though. He shuffled across. Is it okay for height?
Is it sliding down leg?
I don't think it is sliding down leg. It might. I think height might save him. Anyway, he has reviewed it. It was a decent length ball. It's not a no ball. And we'll now see the head-on shot. I'm pretty sure he didn't get a feather on this. As we're just seeing, the ball pitches. It looks as though it's pitched in line, and it's missed the bat comfortably.
Hit him on middle.
I think he's in front. Is height going to be an issue? It's hit him above the roll of the pad.
Yeah, but he's a long way back.
He is a long way back. But
Umpire's
it's
call top of leg.
well, of course, it's got to be missing for it to be overturned. Umpire's call will be good enough. It's one of those ones that 20 years ago would never have been given out, but it has today.
Yeah, it's a pretty bouncy pitch still. Yeah, I'm thinking
Height might save him.
I'm thinking just grazing the top of leg, but I think it's a tough one. It's a bold call, actually.
Well, with the decision, we're going to see it now.
Here we go.
I think it's out.
Impact in line, and is it hitting?
Oh, no.
Wicket's
Poor
missing.
old Chris Wokes.
And his day gets worse.
All he needs now is to turn his ankle and get another injury, and that'll be his day complete.
Yeah, but his mummy's there, so she can give him a cuddle after the game.
I just wonder, with the decision to keep him on, it might have been swayed by the fact that Hope was on strike and not Gale.
Yeah, possibly so. Possibly so.
Or Stokes isn't quite angry enough yet.
Oh, that's his default position, though, isn't he? Outside off stump, swinging away further, taken by Butler, just in front of first slip, and there is no run. It remains 43 for 1.
Well, I've had games like this as a club captain. We've all had. I think of one in particular where we scored trying to defend 75, and I've taken the opening bowler off after 3 overs, and he's sort of gone, "What? Like this was the greatest outrage in cricket history." And I said, "Mate, if I keep bowling you, they're going to lose. We're going to lose without anyone else having a bowl."
Wokes in bowls, full, and he's squirted this off a thick outside edge, up and over square cover. Rashid will do the fielding from deep third man, and he gets a fortuitous 2 runs. And Butler, he looks angry as well. It takes a lot to anger Butler, but most of their anger can be sort of centred on their own performance. They will be really cheesed off, as they should be, with their batting performance. And it was loose. They just didn't assess the pitch in any shape or form. Wokes bowls, and Hope plays a ridiculous shot there. I can't even begin to tell you what he was trying to do there. Half his brain was saying leave the ball, the other was saying I want to play a Cowdery-esque extra cover drive, and he did neither really. He just wafted at the ball outside off stump. It went through bat and pad, through to the keeper, and there is no run.
Well, you say that about England's innings. I felt they were trying to wind it down a bit. I mean, they weren't trying to score 8 and over. They just didn't do it very well.
Next ball is just back of a length, and Hope plays this eventually with one hand off the bat, keeping the ball down, jabs it out onto the onside, and there is no run. Yeah, but there were too many balls. Once you get sort of 2 or 3 down, You should, I think, be able to start assessing the pitch. There's a bit of variable bounce. The danger was going to come from their taller, quicker bowlers, and particularly from the short ball. Wokes in bowls, and he's had a huge, great yahoo at that. It's cannoned into his pad. There's half an appeal from Wokes.
Wokes is saying height.
Are they going to review it? They're going to have a chat. I think this is going to be height. It's been given not out on the pitch. I wouldn't waste the review. The temptation is to do it, to review it.
Wokes is a sensible man. He knew. He made the signal that's too high.
Yeah. Indeed, he is a sensible man. Which
the way his day's going, they're going to show the tracker and it's going to be out.
Yeah, because that's the way sport goes. But which also sort of adds more fuel to the fire. Why England can feel upset about Gale's being dismissal being given a no ball.
Can you get having bowled out for 113?
Yeah, sometimes it's okay for all the bad things to happen on one day. And
absolutely. Wood in bowls, and this is heaved up and over deep mid wicket for one of these.
And that's into the nets.
It's gone a very long way, but if you bowl length, sort of in the slot to Chris Gale, he's got license just to get his feet out of the way and swing, which he's done there. He's picked it up and he's slung it over deep mid wicket, 92 metres, which is quite a distance really.
It's bounced on the concrete as well, which is going to help the England bowlers.
51 for 1. Wood in bowls. He goes length this time. Again, Gale giving himself some room outside leg stump, just pokes it back to the bowler, and there is no run.
Well, at least England have got 3 T20s to get this out of their system. I mean, if this was the last game of the tour and they didn't have another game for another month, it would be playing on their minds. Umpire's call on that LBW.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst shout, but you could see that it was going to be, again, height was going to be the issue. It was a dreadful shot from home. The batting, frankly, in this ODI has just been woeful in bowls, and this has been panned by Chris Gale over deep square leg for one of these.
You came out of your hand and into my zone. Now it's up in the stands. It's a 6. It's beautiful and it's mine.
This series has been surreal.
He's got a decent average in this series, hasn't he, Chris Gale?
Yeah, I think the two other batsmen, Campbell and Hope, are rather trying to emulate him a little bit, and they'd be better off just letting him get on with it.
Well, indeed.
You can't out Gale.
No, just your job there, as the Tell should have done with Butler had he stayed a bit longer, was just give him the strike. There's nothing wrong with that. 57 for 1. Wood.
The fastest 50 record is gone, but I think the fastest, he's well on for the fastest West Indies 50, which is off 20 balls by Darren Sammy.
Well, he should do it then. Changing the field, a man comes over from the offside to the leg side, and there's a bit of anger in that delivery. It's back of a length, and it whistles past the grill of Chris Gale. He plays it well, to be fair to him. He drops his hands and just rocks back out of the way and lets it through to Butler. And there is no run.
Dr. Matt Burley is one on Twitter, not happy about that Gale decision. I'm going to put my head on line here, and I think it's technically the right decision.
I agree.
I think there was far too much guesswork for me by the umpires. Wood in bowls. Slower ball pushed into the offside. They go for a quick single. Shy at the stumps, misses. Direct hit might have been interesting, but when I say they go for a quick single, that's about as quick as it gets for Chris Gale. He gets to the other end. Trademark celebration. He takes his lid off, sticks it on the top of his bat handle, and waves his arms in the air. He's on 50 from 19 deliveries. He now owns the quickest ODI 50 by a West Indian batsman. He will keep the strike, and West Indies
there's still one more left.
58 for 1.
Still one more left of the over.
Can Gale score 100 in a chase of 114?
I'm going to say no.
We'll give him his jingle.
50 runs, 50 runs. Well done, well done, well done, well done. 50 runs.
Wood in bowls. That's a good shot from home. Slightly around his front pad. It shows the slowness of the pitch. That even though it was right off the middle of the bat, it hasn't gone for 4, clipped it away nicely past wide of Curran's right hand, and he will pick up 2. End of the over, 60 for 1. We've had 6 overs, the run rate approximately 10 and over.
In somewhere in that neighbourhood.
Yeah. Good maths. You're impressed with all that.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be an early night for England, and
me, hurrah!
And all of us. Yes, I was hoping for a little bit more today, a little bit more of a contest, but you get what you're given.
Exactly. It's. I think what you can learn from this, if England do learn, what I'd like them to do is be hacked off, but also I hope they sit down in the changing room afterwards and just think about what they've done.
Think about what you did.
Yeah, but just say, look, just say situations like this. If you're going to win a world tournament, rarely do you do that without there being a game where you come under pressure. It can happen, but it largely you will have at least one game, particularly in the knockout stages, when
that's the thing. The particular format of this upcoming tournament, you can throw away 2 games in the league stage and probably be fine. It's all going to come down to those last 2 games.
As Gale has a humongous heave at the ball. It doesn't really get anywhere near it. Had he done so, he'd have probably top-edged it straight over the keeper's head, given that Chris Wokes' day is pretty miserable. Anyway, he hit fresh air, it's through to Butler, and there's no run. But look, all teams lose, and sometimes you lose badly. It's how you react to that. I'd be very surprised if, with Morgan in charge, because he brings some intelligence to the game, both on and off the pitch, I would gather. I believe Wokes in bowls a ball just outside off stump. Gale loses his entire shape of that shot as he was trying to smear it somewhere over deep mid wicket. He gets a thick inside edge and it dribbles down to long leg for a single.
Question: can the West Indies win this before they have to take what would have been the innings break?
They get one of those things where you get to 2 runs.
Yes, like in that game that I was talking about with the New Zealand England in the World Cup, where they went for a 40-minute innings break with New Zealand needing 12 to win.
Yeah,
there was no one left in the ground by the time they came back out.
Speaking of, I know we're not at 10 overs, but we're more than halfway through for runs. If anyone else wants to come in, Bear or Pralab. As
Wokes bowls and Hope defends back up the track, and there is no run. Yeah, going back to it's how you react to a bad defeat, which this is clearly going to be, and will they learn the lesson? Say these are difficult batting conditions, assess what you've got to do, assess what a good total is on this pitch, and maybe 270, 280 was going to be enough. Wokes in bowls just back of a length and play defensively,
and then work out how you're going to get there,
and there is no run.
Bear just rose to complete his work, and then everything fell on the floor.
Yeah.
Unless there's a big slowdown here, that's probably all you're going to hear from me today. So I'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you for your efforts. 61 for 1. 2 balls left in the Wokes over. Are you coming in here after I'll do end of this over, and then it's all yours. Wokes in bowls, and this is punched.
That's a beautiful shot.
Back over the bowler's head. Just to the offside of straight for one of these.
Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6.
That was a gorgeous shot by Shea Hope. That high elbow just going long through the ball, holding the pose, and just a chip back over the bowler's head.
And struck it sweetly. And many rows back. Wokes in bowls. It's back of a length, and he plays defensively square into the offside down towards backward point. That is the end of the over. It's the end of my stint, and hope to be back sometime in the near future.
Thank you very much, Manny, for your sterling service today, taking us through the last little portion of the of India's 6-wicket win against Australia, which they did with 10 balls to spare. In truth, it probably shouldn't have been that many. As we welcome Prolab to the mics. Yeah, we've done 2 games today, and they've been very, very different.
Both were quite low scoring, but I'd say one was a bit more closer than the other.
Yeah, I mean, it probably shouldn't have been as close as it was in the end. India made the chase look simple. But if you're just joining us, Australia made 236, which India chased down with 10 balls to spare, with Kedar Jadhav and MS Dhoni both hitting 50s. And England got absolutely blown away, 113 all out. Shane Thomas took his first fifer in professional cricket, internationally or domestically. Internationally or domestically.
Fascinating as Wood comes in and this Gale backs away and blasts that over the top for 6. Passes over the top of point. 6-4.
I believe in miracles since you came to bat. You 60 thing, you. I believe in miracles since you came out to bat. You 60 thing.
So that's Gale, 57 off just 22 deliveries. He's been destroying the attack everywhere. There was that one controversial moment where he was caught off a no ball. But he had no problems with that delivery. Just backed away, used the pace of the ball, and over the top of point into the stands. Chris Gale, we all know and love. The universe boss. The man who may or may not retire. Let's see what he has in store for us this next delivery. Wood is 1 for 25 off his 3 overs. He'll be a bit annoyed by that 6. Let's see if he can come in there. He runs in. And this delivery is another short ball. That is a repeat by Chris Gale, just a bit further out, and he hits it for another 6.
5, 2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row.
Nice work there, Knuckle. The 2 6s in a row. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, good work. That's the second time actually I've played that in this innings.
That's brilliant.
This series has been so bizarre. We've seen sort of run fests and absurd numbers of 6s being hit, and now we've seen one of the most ludicrous collapses I've ever seen. England lost 5 for 2 in 20 balls.
Yep, it's certainly an interesting game.
We now are only 6 6s away from breaking the record for most number of 6s in a bilateral ODI series, and the one that previously held the record was a 6-game series, and we've had a game rained off completely.
Oh, interesting. Well, this over we've had 6-6 off the first 2 deliveries. Now, we all know Yuvraj Singh hit 6s in an over.
That wasn't in an ODI. Herschel Gibbs is the only one to do it
in an ODI. No, yeah, you're right. So it's going to be interesting to see if Chris Gale can mirror that. He's on to his 3rd delivery now. Will this be a 6? What's going to be in store? Wood runs in. He's changed to around the wickets. Another short delivery that he's hit over the top. It's going to, unfortunately, be a 4, but we're talking 4s or 6s here. Past 3rd man, 2 bounces, 4 runs.
It's me, says she. It's me, says she.
So Cale's been successfully backing away for about 3 deliveries running, and this time he actually uppercuts the ball past that sort of interestingly positioned 3rd man. He wasn't actually at 3rd man at the boundary. He was sort of 3/4 of the way. I'm not sold on that position.
I quite like that, the fly slip, because I think if he gets close to the middle, there's no point having a man back on the boundary. It's for the sort of the top edge pull that goes flying up into the air.
Yeah. I guess there's a logic to that one, but Chris Gale, most runs so far in this tour, 414, well ahead of the next best in Morgan 250, and this is a Yorker that's speared in that Chris Gale finds. French cuts it between his legs, through to fine leg for 4. Now we're seeing 71 off 25 balls, that's 6-6-4-4, so 20 runs already off this over.
Fastest ODI 100 is 31 balls by A.B. de Villiers against the West Indies, not long before the 2015 World Cup. So 29 in 6 balls, or 5 balls, I guess.
5 balls. It's well, it needs a few 6s. Well, it needs all 6s, in fact. But certainly we're witnessing to a nice treat as Wood runs into ball. This delivery, it's a short delivery that Chris Gale just wafts off and runs through the cross with the shot. 6 more runs. Yeah, look, so that was interesting. So that was just a short delivery, stuck in the pitch a bit. Chris Gale just sort of went through with a shot anyway, and with the form he's in, finds his way into the stand, pulled it away comfortably, back towards probably about 3 or 4 rows in. If there were rows there, it's a grassy area.
Thumps into that outbuilding out there. The fastest 100 by a West Indian is a 45 balls by Brian Lara against Bangladesh in in Dhaka in 1999.
Now the question will be, will they have enough runs to play with at the moment? They need 21 to win. Galley's on 77. So he's going to need to probably get to about 20 runs and then hit it with a 6 if he wants to get to his 100. But let's see what he has in store for this last ball, and he's bowled him! Wood has actually made one back. I mean, I'm not sure why he should be celebrating that much, but the ball stays a bit low, hits the top of the off stump, and Chris Gale departs.
So that over went 6-6, 4-4, 6 wicket.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it sort of over that you go, I don't think Wood will be proud of it, although he'll still think that, you know, in the stories he tells his grandkids, he'll say, you know what, he got the better of him in the end. He came back from the brink.
He's bought his wicket. Expensively, but he's bought his wicket.
Gale raises his bat. In what has been a spectacular innings, he's finding a late flourish in his career, and look forward to seeing what he does in the World Cup. I mean, what will most likely be his swan song, despite what he may actually say at the moment. I think it probably will be his last series. It's been a treat to watch over the coming years.
Certainly his last major tournament, you'd think.
Yeah, you'd think so. The T20, I mean, you could see him go around to the World T20. He's that sort of cricketer.
Yeah, I think, well, he said he's going to retire internationally from after the end of the World Cup. Yeah, it was just a length delivery, really, from Chris Wokes. Just a swipe across the line from Chris Gale and into the top of off stump. Nothing really more to be said on the matter. Where the reason we're looking around is because the Bears' liquid smoke machine has disappeared. But we'll hunt that down for you. We're just down to 2 for the last knockings. We had a few people with us on Facebook Live, actually. Krishanta Udaya asks, quite rightly, what the hell is this? And that's a fair question. Salman Khan is with us with Jalal Bhai, Abbas Ali, and Mohammad Mujamal Hussain. West Indies 93 for 2 after 8. We do have a new...
we do have an entrant, Andy.
Well, the bear was going to come in, but by the time he finds his vape, the game's going to be over.
And we do have a new batter.
Woke says just as an aborted run-up, he runs in and the batsman wasn't ready. So they'll start again. Hope on strike.
There's one tweet I want to give you here. Muttley is around on Monday. We don't have a game on Monday, do we? I don't believe so, he says, but he will be playing with the Welsh disabled team in the indoor centre at Lords. Lovely to catch up with anyone of the Gorillas if we can get there get along.
Well, we don't have a game on Monday, so maybe some people will rock up.
Just defended off the back foot, no run. This over just seems disappointing based on that last over. What's the top ball doing here? Come on, Hope. Pull off a Gale. Let's see some fireworks.
I'm a bit surprised they didn't send Hetmeyer in.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't send O'Shane Thomas in. What difference?
I don't know what the rules are, but like, do the ICC or Cricket West Indies have to refund supporters if you don't hit a certain minimum amount of overs?
Do you think many people will be claiming it?
Probably not. This is lofted over the top. It's unfortunately not hit as well as Gale would have, and he actually hits it over the top of mid-off, and it will 2 bounces towards the boundary. Won't be 4, but they'll come back for a 2.
Tom Corrin's on for one hell of a thanks for coming award.
Yeah, but
absolutely,
he did play the worst shot in Earth history.
Certainly the worst since Shannon Gabriel trying to save a test match. It was that bad. Ludicrous shot, and then probably won't bowl.
Jay Grover says, oh blimey, I'm going to drink Optrex and eat Cadbury's mini eggs. Not sure which of those is worse.
Yeah, fair.
I like a mini egg.
I just defended off the back foot. No run there towards Gully.
Iceland Cricket, we will plug your little competition. The winner will be announced on Guerrilla Cricket at the end of the final T20. They're building the world's northernmost cricket ground. And we will I'll tell you what, we'll retweet that. But there are some hospitality tickets at the Oval and such like up for grabs.
Yeah, it's hospitality for 2 for the one of the England-Pakistan ODIs at the Oval. I think you pay £10 to enter, and those tickets are worth £800, so it's not bad.
Woke speeds Hope there, hits him on the mid-ref, no run.
The Bar the Moment on Facebook Live says, oh well, Gale out.
Yeah, it's fair. He does give a lot of entertainment.
Seagrave Saab with Gale gone. I fancy this now. 114 seems a long way off.
I mean, at the strike rate we've seen this over so far, the game could go for another 15 overs. Although
But the strike rate from the last over, it were about 3
Well,
balls.
yeah, that's right. I mean, it's all in isolation, isn't it? This 4 deliveries have been good. Wokes is actually picking back his stats quite well. He's none for 50 or 4.4 overs now.
What a day he's
He
had.
started at, what, none for
He's had-
48?
Yep, 2 wickets ruled out
3.
for no balls for different reasons.
Yeah, he isn't having a good day at all. England's not having a good day at all, but it's been
Don't do
certainly
things
a
by
brilliant
halves,
day.
yeah.
It's been a brilliant day for the West Indies. As Woke runs into bowl, he's kind of he's angling in. I think he wants the game to be over,
Bowled
and he
in.
bowls him. Clean takes out the stump,
That's
slow
a-
delivery, beats
that's
the
a-
outside edge, and hits off stump, and that is gone.
That's a pity
The
wicket.
collapse is starting.
It's not even a particularly good ball. It's just a length
a
ball
cutter.
that Hope has swung inside the line of, and it's slightly nibbled away off the seam.
Well, to tell you what, look, if England lost, what, 5 for 3? If the West Indies can get there...
There was 5 for 2 in
5 for
20
2.
balls.
So you go 5 for 2 from here, there'll be 97 for 8.
Well,
And that turn this game
there
on.
was another game in the World Cup that I'm thinking of, New Zealand-Australia in the group stages,
Yes.
where Trent Bolt ripped Australia
Yeah,
to
I remember
shreds after a really good start, and they got bowled out for 100 odd, and then Kane Williamson had to hit a 6
Off
to
the last
win the
ball.
game with... it wasn't the last ball, it was like halfway
Well, it
through.
was-
but
yeah, it
he
was
had
the last
one
ball,
wicket,
it
there
was
was
the
one
game.
wicket to go. Mitchell
Yeah.
Stark took 5 for in no time at all. So, you know, I was going to say weirder things have happened, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
You never know. I think there's a bit of hope. Anyone on Twitter? Any hope for the English cricket team at the moment?
Not really. Jay's, in fact, quite upset. Jay, I riff on tweets. I don't change them. He's upset because I don't read his tweets out word for word. And Muttley is going to see Alice Cooper in October. Standard ticket, but £600 for a meet and greet.
Yeesh.
He says, worth
Wow.
the 600 if I had it. Well, yeah, try and crowdfund that.
Go play golf with him.
Could do, yeah.
That's all he does these days when he's not touring. We do have Shimmer and Shimmer on.
Sounds like an Israeli president.
What's he got on store in this last delivery? He decides to do it. Just leave it. Leave the delivery. Outside the off stump, angle across them, and he just lets it go. West Indies 95 for 3 at the end of the over, and a good over there from Wokes.
Hopefully Shimron, who sounds like an Israeli president, is not being indicted by the Attorney General. Ibad Moment asks, when's our next match? The next match we're doing is the second one-day international between between India and Australia. It'll be on air from sort of 7:55 a.m. And actually that evening we're doing the first T20 between the West Indies and England. Just before 8 p.m. So another double header.
And worth telling them what day it is.
Yeah, that's on Tuesday the 5th of March. All of those times are GMT.
So that's 19 more runs needed from 41 overs. I'd say they can get this done in the next 2 would be ideal. What are the predictions?
Seagrave Salve says, in the last game, the West Indies lost their last 4 for none in 5 balls. When's Rashid bowling?
True, and the other one was a dropped catch.
Jay has called me the Donald Trump of tweet readers. That's because I'm such a winner. I win bigly.
Winning is Charlie Sheen, isn't it?
Yeah, as Wood comes in bowling, he hasn't been taken out of the attack. He bowls a full delivery that's just defended off the back foot, but they'll steal a single. There. I was actually surprised Rashid's not bowling. It may as well be worth giving him a bowl. I guess maybe he doesn't want to bowl, doesn't want to ruin his stats and his stats he's seen so far this year in white ball cricket.
Sir Bobby wants to pile shame on the ICC ODI rankings that England are 1 and West Indies are 10th, but I don't think that's anything personal. I'm pretty sure it's, done on a formula.
The West Indies have been rubbish for most of the last 3-4
as
years.
Mash will tell us, the West Indies have lost their last 17 ODI series.
Jason Holt has never won one as captain.
They're not going to win this one, but it looks very likely like they're going to draw it.
As Wood comes into ball, backs away and just plays a bit of an unorthodox hoik towards mid-wicket for a single. They do rush through for a single. 97 for 3. Only, how many, what, 17 runs needed? So we're getting there.
It's a bit after the Lord Mayor's show now. Gale is out, and
Yeah,
the
that's
batsmen
right.
don't really know what to do.
I mean, Hetmai is an absolute pleasure to watch. I mean, some of his innings we've seen since his debut has been sensational. A lot of power, a lot of poise as well, which is a good combination to have as a cricketer. As Wood runs into ball and a nice delivery, sort of squares up Bravo and just fended off towards Gully for no run, all on the ground.
Yeah, he scored. I think he scored 4 or 5 hundreds in his 20 odd one-day internationals. A very good return.
Yeah, they're building a good team, the West Indies, and I definitely think there are a smoky for the World Cup. I mean, they've got a solid set of all-round, solid set of batsmen and good set of bowlers as well.
I think you need wicket-taking spinners to win ODI matches
that's
consistently.
probably
and
that is a
one.
weakness that they have. As that Wood comes into ball, a delivery that lifts on the batsman, but he just defends it, and an attempted run-out, adding a bit more drama to this game, but he actually misses the stump, and the batsman was in anyway, so no harm done.
It's all very well if your strike bowlers do make inroads, but what do you do in the middle overs?
Yeah, it's a fair point. It's been their weakness.
Yeah,
and
okay.
And then we've got the Bear has found his what would you call it? His vape machine, or his I don't know, mouth machine. I don't know. You'd call it this
machine.
Mouth machine. I mean,
It's my
helps him
medicine.
breathe out. His medication.
It's medication.
That was a dot delivery. Sorry, top ball just beats the outside edge. No run. Where did you find it, Bear? Out of curiosity.
It was under the sofa. Must have fallen off the arm of the chair.
Oh, right.
Strange.
I don't want to know what's under that sofa.
Well, no, I cleaned it before I moved it. That was a while ago.
Pralab, should you and I switch after this ball?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh,
Why
actually,
not?
no, you came in partway through. Keep going.
Keep going. Go to the end.
Why not? We'll go through the end. As this delivery is a bouncer. Is it a no ball? Is it a wide? No, it's not. It's a perfectly legal delivery, and it's well bowled. Bravo just ducks underneath it. No run.
Did we have Sir Bobby shame on the ODI rankings?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, we have had that.
we talked about that and why that's not really correct.
That's on Pancake Day for Muttley. We had that one.
Yeah, well, that's our next game is on Pancake Day.
Oh, right.
Our next 2 games, in fact.
Oh,
as
hang
we
on.
do.
What's Pancake Day?
Shrove Tuesday.
So there's an actual day called Pancake Day.
Yeah, well, Shrove Tuesday.
So it's
Pancake Day.
I think it's so Ash Wednesday is the first day of Lent, and historically that means that you have some nice food the day before Lent because you're not having any during Lent. Obviously that no longer applies, but people like an excuse to eat pancakes.
Okay. So you guys said Lent. That's another thing I heard. Probably about a week ago I learned about that. Are you doing anything for Lent?
No.
No?
I don't think even
Well, it's a Christian thing anyway.
I don't think even a lot of Christians do things for Lent.
My kids do. They kind of say, right, I'm going to give up Xbox or something for Lent. It's just like, sod off. No, you're not.
Are you going to give up your vape machine?
No. I don't give any. I'm not religious for a start. I don't give anything fucking Lent.
But you're going to eat the pancakes.
Yeah.
so you're going to take the pancakes but not give anything up for Lent?
Wow, well, Nestle boys come up with the Bear's Mouth Machine, Disinterested Handjob's new LP title.
As Mike falls in a slower Yorker that's just chipped away towards the wicket for a single. The target, West Indies, crawling along towards their total. They're 98 for 3 now. Chris Gale, he's definitely returned to form.
He scored 77, we had that one. The same as McCullum in the English Nine Nations in the last World Cup.
Yeah, we've been talking about that game that when New
Yes.
Zealand absolutely demolished England, and yeah, McCullum did make 77
In no
that game.
time at all as well. It was over in about fucking 7 overs, if I remember right.
No, yeah.
Jay Graver says it's like Mardi Gras. I don't know. What is?
Shrove Tuesday or Pancake Day.
Possibly. Jay Graver, I got confused. Thought someone said Charlie Sheen was bowling, which would be fairly funny.
Oh, that is almost caught in balls. It just grows on the batsman. Grows on Bravo a bit. Woke tumbles in his follow through, but the ball was just short. No run.
That's interesting. Did you think we had any entries for the GPL? Surely
We did. We had 4.
Did we for this game?
Yeah.
And they were 400 and something, though, weren't they?
Yeah.
So tough. Isn't it? It's going to be 227.
No one's going to predict 200 at the start.
No, that's true.
Maybe combined.
Nestle boy went for, what was it in the ODI that...
no, that was in the T20.
Yeah, it was the T20. Afghanistan went crazy.
Wake ball's a short delivery. A bit whitish, actually, I'd say. I wonder if this one's going to get called. No, it doesn't. It lets it go. It sort of went over the top of the leg stump, but it's been left alone. There's been interesting wide and no ball calls at the moment, but Now seeing some stats of the most sixes by a batsman in bilateral ODI series, and Chris Gale with 39 is no surprise at the very top. Of 4 innings.
He has obliterated the record.
He
I
has.
remember that series that Rohit Sharma played in 2013-14 against Australia. That was when he hit one of his double hundreds.
Yeah, as Woke Ball's a cutter that just defeats the outside edge of Bravo. He's 1 off 9 now, batting very slowly.
Chris Gale's beaten that record by about 50% in one fewer innings.
It's been crazy. And that Rohit Sharma, I remember that series as well. It was just some of the pull shots he was playing were breathtaking.
Well, there were runs all over the place. I remember James Faulkner smashing India all over the place and chasing 350.
Yeah, well, here you go. This is the Universe boss. That's what happens. He just looks at a record and says, you know what? It's my record now.
That's why he's the Universe boss.
That's why he's the Universe boss, as that Wake runs into bowl a Yorker. That is just a push past mid-on for... Is he going to hit the boundary? Yes, we'll get to 4, and that brings up the 100 for the West Indies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so 12 runs needed there. He just sort of dug that out. It was actually a bit more of a half volley. He wasn't really off the middle of the bat, but enough power to find its way to the boundary.
I don't think we're going to make it to the innings break.
No. If they go off for the fucking innings break here, I thought they'd learned from that and they weren't going to do that anymore. Because that would be absolutely fucking pointless.
Well, it's a short delivery that is being called wide.
The umpires don't want to go off for the innings break either.
They don't. I think just let it go. When is the innings break?
Well, it should be after essentially 50 overs minus 2, which would be 48 overs. And England faced how many overs? Less than
28.
30. Yeah, exactly. So it should be after 20 overs. So
that's a dot ball there, just defended off the back foot. One more ball left in this over. Wokes with the amazing flattering figures of 1 for 56 off its 5.5 overs.
Sweet. Right, Martley says, I'm wearing a purple yarmulke for Lent because I am Jewish Anglican and purple is the colour of Lent and I like to mash things up.
Nice.
Well said, Martley. He also says, best pancake day I did was breakfast. Pancakes with bacon with maple syrup. Lunch, hoisin duck stir fry and pancakes. Nice. Tea, pancakes with ham and mushrooms and peppercorn sauce. Dessert, pancakes and ice cream with chocolate sauce. Pancake total for the day, 13. That's good going, Muttley. That's good going. And that's a good way to stretch out your pancakes as well, to be fair.
So
a mixture of savoury and sweet.
Yeah. I mean, do you eat fruits in your pancakes?
Yeah, you can do.
I do like
I'm not a
fruits.
massive fan of pancakes. The thing is, the kids used to love pancakes for breakfast, so we did pancakes every fucking weekend. So, you know, and when I was a kid and we had pancakes, it was like, oh, a treat. But now it's like, knock out some pancakes for breakfast Sunday morning.
I don't know. I mean, we see all these sixes by Chris Gale. I don't see it as... I don't get less entertained by it.
You're comparing sixes by Gale to pancakes.
Yeah, there's so many sixes. You go, it's not a treat. You just see him every single over now when he's batting. But the series is locked in at, 2-2 will end up at the end of the series with that match getting abandoned a few days ago.
Indeed, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's been riveting to see that last delivery. And he, this time, Edmeyer backs away, blasted over the top of the field, is through cover for 4.
That went like a tracer bullet.
Well, Jay Grover, of course, says, fuck pancakes, do galettes. Galettes are on a crepes, basically, aren't they, galettes?
Galette's the one you set... that's crepe Suzette, where you pour some like brandy over the top of it.
I thought galette... Isn't a galette basically a crepe, Jay?
What is a galette? I feel like you're just trying to make pancakes into a fancier word.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, crepes they do on that fancy little. They're bigger for a start, and they do them and they're thinner, and they do it on that. You can buy them now. They're like a Lazy Susan sort of hot plate for making.
Wood
crepes.
runs into ball, backs away again. Outside edge for a single. There's a third man there. Rashid finally see him in some action.
England are going to win this. I'm telling you.
6 runs to win for the West Indies. England need 7 more wickets during that. It's less than a runner wicket is what they need.
Double hat trick.
Double hat trick. It's doable. Let's see what Darren Bravo has to play. They're all practicing the massive shots here.
Just double hat trick and they still have 1 wicket left.
Yeah. Needing a 6 to win.
6 to win. Do we think we can do it with a 6?
I mean, who will be? Sheldon or O'Shane? Yeah, Shane.
Shane Thomas, yeah.
Yeah.
Should be for 5
He
4.
he can hump a 6, I'm pretty certain.
I don't know, Ty? You can somehow burgle this from.
I mean, there was this one session where Luskin Linger picked up 4 wickets in the last over and almost won a game in a similar sort of
4 and 4,
situation.
wasn't it?
It was, as Wood runs into bowl, and this delivery is placed off the back foot straight to cover for no run. Yeah, I mean, it would be an interesting if they picked up a hat trick. Well, actually, no, probably not. It had to be a
It still
triple
wouldn't be
hat
that
trick almost.
interesting.
Yeah.
It would waste time.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
I'd rather someone bunted a 6 right now and just got this game over with.
Yeah, because you don't want to go to that
painful.
innings break. And
No.
ICC need to learn. I think it's got a rule. If you're less than, 20 runs to win, you should just ignore that rule.
Well, that's exactly what they did in that game that Knackle was just talking about, wasn't it? England were bowled out for God knows what. McCullum came out, smashed it, and they needed about 6, and they went off for lunch.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, the rule needs to be amended. That's just defended for no run. It seems like Bravo is keen for this lunch break, and I don't know what's on the menu out there in the stadium, but that could be partly what's driving this decision making.
You can still have the lunch.
Yeah, you have to have the lunch when you're over. It's much more relaxing. You don't have to go out. And you can,
you can have
pick yourself
have
out,
a beer
man.
with it.
I mean, that's a good jerk, and all
Surprised
sorts.
Chris Gale
In
hasn't
fact, I went there when I was in Gros, when I was in St Lucia. Obviously, Rex St Lucia was really expensive. We weren't in hotels, so we didn't get the free, buffet dinner and all that.
As we continue, a wide delivery, well wide down leg side. That's one more run.
But just outside the Rex St Lucia,
wide,
there was this little open air sort of cafe place that did the most amazing jerk chicken and jerk pork with rice and peas and coleslaw, and it was about fucking £1.20. And all the workers from Rex St Lucia used to go eat there every night.
Yeah.
And the food was amazing.
Seeing a shot of the West Indies dugout, Andre Russell has the biggest strapping on his right knee that I've ever seen.
Interesting.
No wonder he's not playing.
Just defended, flicked away for no run. Yeah, it's interesting because he isn't playing at the moment. Is he injured?
Well, he's coming back from he's coming back from he's been playing T20, but I think he thinks that he's not quite up to playing 50 overs, and I think he's still recovering from sort of a bit of an injury.
Okay.
You can see the strapping and the ice pack that's on his sort of just under his right knee.
Joey Grove says, savoury buckwheat pancakes, I don't do sweet. And he also says, oh, fuck cock. Now I have nothing to listen to whilst reading this crap. What are you reading, Jay?
This is a lowish full toss that is just driven one-handed. It's not going to hit the boundary, unfortunately, because the English fielder is quite good at just diving in and adding a bit more life in this game to keep it running to another over. So they take 2 instead. We need 3 runs to win, and that is the end of the over. West Indies 111 for 3.
He says, cheers, English Muppets. And Joe Leon just comes in, typical English, calypso.
5 for 2 in 20 balls is pretty impressive.
Yeah, fucking dreadful. Well, hopefully... what are we in 29? That's this one for this year, so it won't happen in the World Cup with a bit of luck.
Well, England have already been. They got the bonnet for 77 in this year, and this. So
I mean, they're improving. So there's another 40 runs in this one. So the next class will be.
It is the big worry. It's just a massive worry with England. They're so capable of winning that World Cup.
Yeah.
As long as they have their blips early in the tournament and then go on and learn something from it.
That's the challenge you got. I think they'll get through comfortably with the group stages. It's just that semi-final and final, where the pressure's all on.
England throw another lamb to the slaughter. Why is he bowling? Really? What?
Because they've got to give him something to do.
The most effectual top cat, whose intellectual close friends get to OTC.
The betting goes for 6 off this ball.
As Curran runs into bowl, a loopy, slower ball that is driven past the fielder for 4, and that is game over. West Indies win by 7 wickets. The series is locked at 2-all. And we can now all go home very shortly once we go through the
Thank you for coming, Tom Curran. One of the worst shots I've ever seen to get out for a golden duck. Bowls 1 ball and is driven for 4.
The number of the day. Who could ask for more? The number of the day is 4.
Okay, now, Mark Zip says he's listening while on the road to Wilkes-Barre Record Show. Thanks for your company, and he sent us a picture of his favourite place name on the road, which is Lake Wallenpaupack in Greentown. But Victor Victoria, which I'm going to admonish you on, says, all your talk of pancakes has made me want them. I'm going to have to go to the supermarket now it's over. I hope you're going to get the ingredients for your pancakes, not going to buy them ready-made, because that would be savage. Carry on.
This is England's worst defeat in one-day internationals in terms of balls to spare. They have lost after 12.1 overs.
That is an impressive thing to lose. I mean, 12.1 overs, I mean, even if they're playing 100, that would still be a poor game to lose with that many deliveries. But West Indies, I mean, if you look back at the series, though, who would you say came on top? I know it's 2-2 in the end, but would you say that's a fair summation or a fair reflection of the series?
Actually, I think England threw the one away, the last one away. They should have won that, really, to be fair.
The second ODI.
The second ODI, they were in the game. They were well ahead. They had Moen and Butler going. It was Owen Morgan and Butler going well. Morgan chipped one out to the deep, and Butler went shortly afterwards. And then they lost their way, and they still had plenty of time to do it in. They've got a few things to think about. I mean, we know they're all capable of these big scores and playing exceptional cricket and ODIs, but they are, vulnerable to this blip that they have, and they do have it, and they have it in certain games at certain times, and you just don't want it happening at the wrong time. And more often than not, it does seem to. Whether it's the pressure gets to England or not, I don't know, but they have to be able to readjust, as Manny was saying earlier. I mean, in the stage they were at, they still had Butler, and they still had 4 batsmen who could bat. And they had 28 overs to go. They had a long way to go. They could have got themselves up to a 260, 270, 280 score without too much trouble if they'd just battened their head down and gone for 4, 5 and over for 10 overs and then tried to get that to 5, 6 and over. And then with the wickets that they did there, I mean, the problem with ODI cricket is you need wicket in hand to be able. If you want to go at 40 overs and you've got 3 wickets down, you go, well, okay, there's someone behind me. But if you're 6 wickets down, you have to leave that really going for broke later and later in the game. And, with the 4 wickets left, they could have gone to 45 overs, got themselves to, say, 210 maybe after 45 overs, and tried to blast an extra 60, 70, 80 off the lot. I mean, it's not impossible. We know that from T20s. Getting 10 and over, 12 and over for the last 5 overs is possible. Still could have got themselves up to a score of 260, 270, 280, 290 even. But they didn't,
So just go through the scorecard. England bowled out for 113. This is how I can read out the no one really hit more than 23 runs. Bairstow 11, Hales 23, Root 1, Morgan 18, Stokes 15, Butler 23, Ali 12, and then a string of ducks for the rest of them. Wokes, Curran, Rashid and Wood. The best of the bowlers was Thomas, who I expect will end up being the man of the match. Picked up 5 for 21 off his 5 overs. Brathwaite ball impressive opening spell with he was 2 for 17 off his 8, Holder 2 for 28 off his 7, and Cottrell with the 1 for 23. Nurse was probably the one that was most expensive, and he only had to bowl 4 overs. He was none for 24, but as the Bear was saying, had England actually batted for a bit longer, they would have had the opportunity to exploit that. West Indies innings, comfortable victory for them, won it in 12.1 overs. Chris Gale 77 off 27, so that's an amazing strike rate of 285. Had 9 sixes in his innings and 5 fours. Campbell, 1 run only, bowled by Wood. Gale was also bowled by Wood, and Hope 13, bowled Vokes. He made 13. Darren Bravo 7 not out, and Hetmeyer 11 not out. Only the 3 bowlers. Vokes 6 overs, 156, went for 9.3 runs and over. Wood 2 for 55, so picked up a few wickets, but also went for 9 runs and over. And then Curran. And this is interesting. His economy rate has blown out to 24, as predicted, 24 runs and over off the 1 delivery bowl, which went for 4. So he would have gone for 24 runs and over had he bowled his full allotment of 6 deliveries. So that's a 5-match series drawn 2-2. And we move into the T20s of the series.
Well, yeah, we got a little
bit of time. Which is historically the West Indies' best format, although they haven't actually been in brilliant form recently. England will have some new players for that. So Moeen's been rested for that. Stokes is being rested for that. Butler's being rested for that. So Sam Billings will come into the side. David Milan's coming into the side. Sam Curran's come into the side. The West Indies well, actually, there was some talk that they were going to keep keep this ODI squad together for the T20s, basically to give the World Cup squad more time, which would mean no Sunil Narine, among others. I guess Russell's in the squad now, and but we haven't heard that yet. I think England are have the makings of a decent T20 side. I mean, you know, if you've got a wicket-taking spinner who can turn the ball both ways, I think you're onto a winner there. Rashid's a very good white ball bowler. Milan's had a very good record in T20 cricket. You've still got the likes of Jason Roy. You've still got Alex Hales. He's very, very good in T20 cricket. Root's a fantastic T20 player, despite not looking like he should be.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that is Chris Gale's format. Even more so than any other. He's got obviously a very good Test record, very good ODI record, but he's been sort of the king of T20 cricket for the last few years. It's going to be an interesting and entertaining series, and we've got the remainder of the last 4 games of the India-Australia series, ODI series, to come as well. May not be as closely matched. We're not sure yet, but Australia did.
There'll be the odd close game there, won't there?
Yeah, Australia didn't really look to have that much beyond. They didn't. You didn't give the impression that India were really stretching themselves for most of the game.
No.
But it's been a long day today. Not as long as it could have been, but it's been a fun day. You got
an early finish, man.
Yeah, it's been a fun day. We did the first one-day international between India and Australia, which India won by 7 wickets with 10 balls to spare. 2 7-wicket wins, but achieved in very, very different circumstances. The West Indies blew England away. O'Shane Thomas taking his first professional 5-for in international or domestic cricket, losing 5 for 2 in 20 balls at the end to be bowled out for 113. Johnny Bairstow played a Bairstow drive and got bowled. Arthur Rashid got an absolute snorter. Tom Curran played one of the worst shots of all time, and every other wicket was almost exactly the same. Short balls flacked at for no obvious reason. And the West Indies, with thanks to Chris Gale hitting the fastest ever 50 by a West Indian, battered England absolutely and inflicted their heaviest defeat in terms of run balls faced. This in a series that England started chasing down 360 without breaking a sweat.
Well, exactly.
Bizarre, weird, fantastically entertaining.
And then scored 418 and the Windies need chase it down.
Surrealist cricket.
Indeed. Last tweet, Seagrove says 113 for 3. The Windies are only 2 wickets, or were only 2 wickets behind. Better off than when we were at this stage. That is very true, and that is the sad indictment of how England played. Muttley is sending a great picture. Thanks for the coverage, folks. Hope to see some, if not all, of you on Monday at Lord's. Woof. He's wearing his new leg, and his new leg, which I've retweeted and given a heart to, is it's got pirates.
Yeah, I've seen the leg. It's skull and crossbones.
Skull and crossbones.
Yeah, he's playing in a disability cricket match at the indoor school at Lord's on Monday. So yeah, we're not doing a game. If any gorillas are around on Monday, and have a look and head down to the indoor school and watch some cricket.
Jay Grover's told me what books he's reading. 6 Lives to Lead, an erotic family fantasy. Sounds dreadful. It's actually pretty vanilla, but it's crappily written, and an animation is a hack job. Well, there you go. Good. I presume that's your summation of it, and therefore you can go off to bed now. Christ the Choir says Sky's got 5 hours to fill. At least you guys can go home early. Enjoy your evening. Thanks a lot. It's very true.
To do the highlights vaults. Well, I think we'll just we'll replay the whole day on the stream, Bear.
Sorry?
I guess we'll replay the whole day on both games.
I was just gonna wind around the entire series. Actually, this ODI series.
Yeah, make sure.
I put it all into a thing, so that'll be going off. You can listen back to back England versus West Indian ODIs and see.
You can relive the collapses, relive the run chases,
exactly.
Relive the bizarro world cricket that we've enjoyed over the last few weeks. We'll be back on Friday. Friday. We're back on Tuesday, the 5th of March, just before 8 o'clock for the second one-day international between India and Australia. We're doing the first T20 between the West Indies and England later that evening, so that'll be on at 8. So, do the ODI, have a bit of a break, do the T20, and in between, gorge yourself on pancakes.
We've still got some stuff to go.
Yeah, sure. A few shouts out on Facebook Live as well. Romario, Alvin, Deputron, Windies all the way, Samar Manzoor, Salman Khan, Kabir Khan Safi. Yeah, thank you to everyone who's been commenting on Facebook, Facebook Live, facebook.com/Cricket Tracker all day. It was lovely to see and hear from so many of you.
Gordon Anderson says you can lose a game in 3.2 overs. That's the Oman Scotland game. Seagull Sub says, since we haven't had even 50 overs yet, At the 100, we were promised. Can we have another game after the innings break?
Be a
No,
match.
No, you can't. Gros also says, no, he's resent it. Okay, all right. I've read it out. Don't worry. Joy Grove says, I have now discovered my national pride. I shall hack my English arm off and join the Celtic resistance. I'm pretty rubbish with 2 arms, but unstoppable with 1, he says. Save Woodley Bush Hospital says, was about to tune in. Glad I didn't bother. Well done, West Indies. Indeed, England were pretty shit, let's be honest. I've done better than Tom Curran, 0 overs for 6. He says. Nice. Daft Penguin. Probably a good thing I did overtime at work instead of listening to this then. Yeah,
Hope
probably
it was
true.
paid overtime.
And the last couple of tweets of the day are Jay Grover, thank you all very much. I'm still gutted I didn't see Ed crushing someone with his massive hands. And match times are 10 a.m, 12 noon and 2 p.m. Don't know what that's for, Muttley.
That's indoor cricket.
That's his indoor cricket, of course. If you want to go down and see Muttley and all that shenanigans, it's at Lord's on Monday. And that's about it. Play the theme tune, we're out of here. We will see you, when are we back? Tuesday, 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, on air, sort of 7:55 a.m. for the second ODI, and we'll be doing the first T20 between West Indies and England later that evening. Until then, from everyone here at Gorilla Cricket, on this mega day of one-day international cricket, bye!
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 Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the